we're live. Um, okay, so here's the thing. Um, my laptop is dog shit. Everyone and their mother knows. So I turned it off. I'm now connecting via my PlayStation. So sadly, I can't see chat. Give me a second. Let me see if I can see chat. Also, let
Already,
me
you
make
don't
sure
need to
that
see the
we.
chat. You good? Just keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. So yeah. Mm, we're live. Look. PlayStation shit the bed, and it's genuinely their fault. I'm not gonna talk about it, but let's get to the intros. Morgan, how are you? What you been playing?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, got back to the backlog. Got back to Octopath 2. I just finished. Whose story did I just finish? Crap.
Was it Throne?
Yes, Tharne. Thank you, Tharne.
Mm-hmm.
So I just finished her story, and now I'm on
Who?
to the thief.
Oh, I know,
Throne.
what you're
We
talking
just said
about.
it.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, I just finished her story. Now I'm on to I can't remember her name, but the beast chick. I'm on to her story now.
Oh,
Oh,
Chud.
Yes, thank you.
yeah, that's my main.
Yeah. So I just finished her chapter 1, starting on her chapter 2 story.
Mm-hmm.
So far I have, I think, 6 of the characters' stories done. I think she and then the dancer are the only ones that I have left. So slowly moving my way through Octopath. Still my game of the year. Fantastic game. Love it. Hoping to
Over.
finally get this platinum for this game. Hoping.
Oh, that's gonna be rough.
Oh yeah.
Over the over Jedi
Jedi,
Survivor.
yes. Yes. I love Jedi. Jedi's my number like 2 tied. I don't know. Yeah, Jedi's like my number 2 right now. But yeah, Octopath is still my number 1. It'll probably be my number 1 even at the end of the year with Spider-Man. But
Wait,
yeah.
over Spider-Man? After what
Yeah.
we've seen from Spider? Yo,
Listen, I love Spider-Man though. Like I just really like Octopath too. Like
interesting.
it's
I question if that's gonna
oh man.
stay after you play Live and Live, Live
I
Alive.
know that's
It
that's
it
next.
it won't
So
it won't supersede this. It's great. It's just not. It's different.
it's different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not gonna supersede Octopath. Trust me. I
Oh,
love Live a
so
Live,
Octopath.
and it was great. But it is a unique experience and it is an awesome game, and I think she's gonna love it to an incredible degree. But yeah, Octopath 2 is
It's
just
not
special.
Octopath. Mm.
Okay. But yeah, this is definitely a special game and I'm enjoying it so much. But yeah, hopefully I know it's gonna be a long road, but hopefully get this platinum. I'm trying to get this before I move on to like anything else. Just concentrate on Octopath. But yeah.
I just so you know, shout out to Gaming with Persona. He have a guide in case you wanna overlevel.
There are like 600 guys on YouTube.
End
Wait,
game.
Persona's
Oh,
got a
okay.
guide?
Yeah, he got a
Well, on
guide.
his
Very
channel?
explained for this is end game material.
Is it
So
on his channel?
if you're there, look it up.
He
I looked
posted
it
it.
up
It's on his
and
channel.
Okay.
it
All
it,
right.
it is on his channel.
It's the
First,
same
I
thing I
didn't hear
already
you.
told you.
Okay. I might have to look at it though. But shout out to Persona for that because I know he got the platinum. I'm trying to be like
Yeah,
him.
Trust me,
yeah.
leveling is not going to be your problem. You already kind of got over that
You
part.
don't know me, all right?
So
No, I'm telling you factually leveling is not going to be your problem
Oh man.
because that's
so
not the
the my
problem.
problem my problem I'm facing, maybe she is facing as well.
Don't
I need
talk about the end
items,
game boss
healing
though.
items.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm about to say, how the hell he got the end game boss? He ahead of me?
mm. No, I thought that's what he was about to
My
say.
my problem is I'm facing. I need healing items, the ones that you can't buy. Can you steal, or something, or are you screwed?
See, that's why it's always good to have like a healer on the team, so you can just.
No. I'm talking about healing items that heal you well. The problem was that I did the Casty boss fight,
Hmm.
and he put. Oh no, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. Maybe you haven't beat it yet.
No, I be
The
She
Cassie.
can
Casty.
be Casty.
Oh, you beat Casty? Then
Hmm.
he put. You know that he put healing block on Casty specifically,
Yeah.
and that's why I had to use all my healing items. I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about
Yeah, I
the
had
bit.
Timonos with me as well, and he had healing with him, so that's probably why I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
I needed a few damage dealers because I was lacking in damage. All I had was what's his name? The samurai. But yeah,
Yeah,
let's keep
Hikari.
it moving.
See, this
Yeah,
is
he
this
got it.
is the part where Morgan playing alongside Tony actually helps because she
Oh
doesn't
man,
have
he's
a
trying to give
problem
himself
with
props right
damage.
now. He's trying to give himself props.
I'm just
First of
saying.
all, I did this by
Hey,
myself. This man ain't helped me even that I was kid. He helped me a lot. Nah,
if he helped you, he
I did.
deserves the props. Cause
He ain't do shit. I
with
did it by
this
my
game, it's
damn
rough.
self.
Making sure she go
With
get
this game,
all
it's
these
rough.
weapons, and she about to go get the new class because she needs it.
You don't know what I need.
I know
Wait,
I
exactly
so
do
what
I
this
you
with the
heard
need.
base
there's a
level
new
weapons.
class.
Damn it.
Uh-huh.
I heard there's a new class.
No,
Oh
she
man,
needs the class that uses all the
nah.
weapons.
I'm
She doesn't have it
about to
yet.
level up with broken swords and broken armor like
Yeah,
a
you wild,
G.
ma'am.
Um,
Absolutely not.
so I
Oh
have a
man.
question. Have you gone past that level 99 enemy?
Mm,
It's in a cave where you need to be high level because
that
he does
dragon
like.
looking thing or frog? I forgot what it
No,
looks
no, no.
like.
It's not a dragon. It's just a character. One character that steals a sword.
The
You would
thing that
think
you
it's a.
that you that's like in the cave that's on the ocean that you have
You
to.
need to be one person to go in.
Oh no! Oh, the thing that's in the desert.
Yeah,
No, I haven't done that. No, I tried it
he
one time and that man kicked my ass. I was like,
he
oh
he he is broken. This is end game. This.
yeah, I
So
tried
yeah,
that shit. And that man kicked my ass. I said, oh nope, not today. I
not
immediately
today.
left.
Yeah. Live and fight on another day or something like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
gotcha. Um, talking about helping you, Nate, how are you? What you been playing?
I yeah, I mean I'm good. I've honestly been trying to get through Jedi Survivor. I do not think I'm going for the platinum. To be honest, the game is a lot of
I
fun.
don't
Excuse you.
recommend that.
Excuse you.
It
Huh?
Yeah,
it
excuse
it
you.
it help you in certain area, but it's tedious in different areas.
Yeah, I
First of all,
mean,
see, he wanted to give he wanted to get his props because he was helping me with Octopath, but I've been helping him with Jedi. Okay,
you have, you have.
I can help. Like I am your walking guide. If you need a platinum, I got you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, Morgan has been there with me every step of the way.
There you
So,
go.
you know,
Holding your hand.
yeah, ma-
Walking through,
making sure I don't
If that's
miss
your cry for
things.
help, blink twice.
damn.
Nah,
Help,
Continue.
look, this is it's easy plaque. I can like look. Let's just add it to your plaque collection. Like, come on,
Yeah. Come on,
let's
man.
do it. Let's do it.
I know both of y'all got it. So.
Anyway, like he's getting the plaque. Don't listen to what he said. He's
I
Oh
getting the
would
plaque.
man,
It's
get
fine.
it. I might get it. It's just tedious.
Yeah,
Because
it's like the
one,
last one with the collectibles is a little tedious, but it's a lot easier
this is
than
a lot
damn
easier.
Hogwarts.
Oh yeah. We're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, let's not
Amazing
talk about
game,
that.
but
that's funny.
Yeah.
horrible,
That's funny because that was
horrible.
one I was thinking about going back and getting. But
How
that's
the hell you gonna do that? But
Oh
then you know
no.
what? Never mind.
no,
Yeah.
Let me just.
that's
I understand.
complicated. That's complicated though, because I may have
No.
found a workaround.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
for
but
something.
you can't use me like a easy ass guy to help you get the plat, but
I
you found a workaround for
I
Hogwarts
haven't
though.
even beaten the game yet though.
Wow.
Wow.
I gotta
Mm-hmm.
beat Jedi
No.
Survivor first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. No,
I'm
don't worry about it.
I
disappointed.
do. I
How?
just said I don't think I'm gonna get it. Like I just don't. I don't know.
Oh, he's getting it. Don't
How you
anyway.
Oh
haven't
man.
get
Anyway.
How you
But
haven't beat Hogwarts?
no. I beat Hogwarts. I said the
He's talking about he
platinum. I
hasn't beat
said
Jedi
Oh,
yet.
you're
the
talking about
platinum.
Jedi Survivor. You haven't beat it
Yeah,
yet.
I haven't
Okay,
beat Jedi
gotcha.
Survivor. I was saying I might go back
Yeah,
and get the
gotcha,
platinum for the other
gotcha.
game. Um,
Anyways, so you're
Fair.
gonna make my life harder for yourself, is what you're saying. He's like, I don't want an easy play, I want a harder one.
oh
Okay.
man,
Bet.
Morgan about to come through after the show and beat me
Morgan
up.
putting you on the spot, eh?
I'm just saying, but it's fine.
No, but yeah, I've been playing that. Honestly, randomly, at least in between a lot of stuff, I've been playing Fortnite quite a bit this season.
Yeah, seen it.
Um, it's been pretty fun. I'm like level 150 out of like 200 or something like that. So that's been fun. I play it every now and then with my nieces and stuff like that. So I just been
So
enjoying
is
this
that your
season.
guilty pleasure game?
Not even really. Like because like sometimes I'll get on, I'll play one time, and I'll get right the hell off. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just an easy jump in, jump out game, is what it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I don't feel like thinking, I don't feel like navigating something, I don't feel like listening to the story, I don't feel like doing none of that, and I'm like, I want to
Mm-hmm.
play something, but I don't really want to think or whatever, and I could just jump in and shoot some stuff real
So
quick.
basically mindless.
Yeah,
Mindless gameplay.
essentially,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Which I don't really
Okay.
have a lot of games that are like that. So it's like, and it's
Well,
easy, it's fun. Like you don't gotta go hard. Like that was the difference. Like me and Morgan were playing Call of Duty for a little while, and like it was fun. But like you gotta like sit yourself up in the chair and get ready and
Yeah.
like yeah,
I'm like the type of person I can't play Call of Duty for too long. I feel like I start losing brain cells a little bit now. Like it's just like,
yeah,
all right, let me get back to some
mm-hmm.
some thinking really quick when it comes to gaming. It's
exactly.
nice for a little bit. It's nice for a little bit,
Hey,
but you gotta get back.
so if you want another guilty pleasure game, play Gem of War, which I'm playing right now.
I've looked that game up because you play it all the time, but it's not for me. I'm gonna let you have that
That
one.
that's another guilty main
Ooh,
mindless game.
guess the
Um,
mine Fortnite.
by the way, I tagged you. Shout out to Kopi for bringing it up because I know you're a fan. Have you looked up a game called Musashi something something?
Yeah, I saw the gameplay of what he was playing. It
Yeah,
it looks like the hack and slash gameplay from the other like I
from
don't
the
remember.
Gundam, right?
Uh, not the Gundam. It's something else. But yeah, it does look like the Gundam one as well.
You mean Megaton
Okay.
Musashi?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Megaten Musashi.
Oh yeah. Is that
Cause
is
I'm
that get
waiting.
is that
Yeah,
getting
go
a
ahead.
Western release?
After watching Kofi play it, shout out to Kofi, and after hearing about the premise of the story, I'm sold on it. Um,
There's actually an anime of this one, and it's pretty good.
oh, so does it follow the exact same story of the game then?
I have no idea because I haven't played the game, but it's a pretty
Oh,
good story.
okay.
Yeah, the game is
Then
only
I'm
in
gonna
Japanese right now.
do some research. Cause the gameplay looks sick, but the premise of the story is even sicker. It it basically it remind me of what's the name of the game? 13 Sentinel.
Yeah, I mean he's said as much, but I'll have to see more on it later because right now, I mean the combat at least that I've seen is just it doesn't really interest me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Okay, if
but
the combat doesn't interest you and the story is good, would you pick it up or no?
I don't know. That's
Mm-hmm.
complicated
Ju-
because you got to remember
just
like
watch
I'm
the
That's why I
playing.
did my
anime,
web.
dude.
Yeah, I'm playing like 100 games. So like, if you gonna step on my plate, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be
Mm-hmm.
about something. Like I don't got that much room on my plate, so you got to be important to
Don't
be
listen
on
to
it.
him. He got bad taste. He be all right.
Oh shit!
She alright. She loved my taste. So uh huh. That's why she over here
You
playing
guys got in
Octopath
a
and all this
fight or
stuff now.
something?
Anyway, I did
Uh
that of
huh.
my own volition, sir.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think you wanna fight that fight, Marvin.
Mhm.
You would absolutely lose.
Listen, I got other JRPG
Uh
friends.
huh.
All right, you ain't the only one.
Nah, I'm that one. The mother niggas ain't
Oh
shit.
Yeah, he
man.
is that. He
Oh
is. He
man.
just is. Unless your friend with Kofi, you need someone at that level.
Oh man.
Yeah, Kofi about the only one.
I
Yeah.
really want to play the other game too. Sorry to interrupt, but that what's it called? It's like Star something.
Sea of
I
Stars.
don't know.
Ocean.
Sea of Stars. Yes,
Hmm.
Okay, so there
yes. I
is
don't
a
think that's not a
demo for
JRPG though. I know it's an RPG. It's
there.
not a
It's
JRPG, right?
That's a.
it's
It is a JRPG.
it,
It's
it's
just
it's
with
in the
action.
style of JRPG. It's just not from Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's
There
what I
Yeah.
is
thought.
there there is a demo for it you can download and check it to see if it's for you or not.
So
Yeah.
it's
Alright.
not a JRPG, just to be clear.
Okay. Okay, I
Installment.
figured. Um,
Yeah.
that steelbook that was fire, but it was like only like for people who like bought like the early
No, no,
copies
there is a
or whatever.
no, the demo. I played the demo. You
No, not the
don't need
no,
demo. I
not
said the
the demo. She
steelbook.
said the steelbook.
The
Oh,
steelbook
sorry.
I saw
Sorry
was
about that.
fire. No, you're good. But it was like only for people who like donated, like when the game was in early production or whatever. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
it saddened me. It was nice too. I was like,
wait.
damn, this shit's nice.
That's a topic we're gonna talk about.
Physical.
Steelbook.
Steelbooks and
Okay.
stuff.
I miss steelbooks.
So,
Okay.
Nate, anything else you play? Or that's about
Yeah, I
it?
played some of Humanity, which has
Okay.
has been pretty interesting. I realize I like it because so far, even some of the harder stuff I've come across has been fairly easy because I've seen some of the later levels and it might get like absolutely ridiculous, but so far I'm having quite a bit of fun with it. So Humanity's pretty fun.
Mm,
I gotta try that out.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting. And
Yeah.
then I started for Spoken as well. So
Ooh.
Ooh, you didn't tell me
I
you started
bought
for Spoken.
I bought that. I bought that. I
Oh
genuinely
man.
bought that. I pulled the plug. They were selling. It was cheap. They were selling the
yes, the
the complete edition for $50. But what you also get with it, you get the DLC for
yeah,
free. I'm like,
I bought it
yeah.
when it was
So
on
sign
sale.
me the fuck up.
Damn. So you just not telling me shit now. When the hell did you start?
I I didn't. Oh my god. I
Oh, okay.
I told you.
Wow.
I told
It's a
you when I
betrayal.
told you I bought it,
Yeah.
right?
You didn't tell me you started it though.
Yeah, when I say I started it, I mean I pressed play so I could see the beginning of the game. That's what I
Oh.
mean by I started
Ah.
it. Like I didn't.
Yep.
I haven't really started it like that.
Oh man.
I just wanted to see because everybody says the beginning is so bad. So I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
I was like, what happens?
Apparently, sorry to cut you off, but apparently they fixed that. They changed it with the rated update. So if you're gonna update the game, you're gonna have a different beginning. I heard.
Mm,
Nice.
I don't know that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they changed this part that I'm seeing
Mm.
because this is the part
Oh,
where
you,
she's in New
you
York. So
oh the
Uh,
whole where she gets mud thing.
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
so how the cringe dialogues then?
Oh man.
I so far she hasn't talked much. So I think the cringe dialogue happens
So
when
far,
she
so
when
good.
she goes to the new world, and that's when she starts acting
Even
ridiculous.
even that, apparently they deemed it. They tone it down. You can go to the setting
Oh
and
man.
fix the banter
We
between
got
the
the
cup.
we got a cringe
That
bar in the setting.
The
Let's turn
cringe
the
bar.
cringe down a little bit down here.
Yeah.
yeah. If you want, I don't mind it.
Oh
But
man.
I only mind it
The game is
when
rated C for cringe.
no, I don't mind it. I don't mind it because
Oh man.
it's a well from Nathan Drake. Like that's entertaining. I like cringe. But my thing is, I wish that the cop wouldn't be talking mid combat because I want to focus on the combat and
Really.
not the
Always the
conversation.
talkative sidekick. Oh man.
Yeah, because the cop is very entertaining. Mid combat, talking about coffee. I'm like, that's cool and all. I want to hear the coffee story, but I want to hear it after the combat.
Oh. So the fade. So C Fresh was saying they changed the fade to black transitions. So remember
Oh, that's
the
good.
yeah remember the thing. What's his name was
People
complaining
were making
about.
fun of.
Oh, that
Yeah,
Viper complained
Viper.
about.
Viper
Okay,
kept complaining. He's like, "Yo, why do they fade to black like that?" Like,
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. We on
that
PS5. We
was
gotta stop doing the fade to black shit.
his biggest issue with the game, I think,
Oh,
yeah,
that's good that they fixed it.
yeah. Apparently they
and they
fixed that.
fixed it.
That's
Hey,
That's
awesome.
good.
Oh man, you hear that, Morgan? We're getting the A class edition.
Oh man.
Oh
That's why
man.
sometimes that's why you gotta wait.
Well,
Sometimes it's good to wait.
Hmm.
maybe Malcolm should try Forspoken, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, she. I
Yeah,
know. I know she.
I
I
just
know.
got to get through Octopath
I know
first
she
because
wants to finish
I just get
Octopath.
too distracted when it comes to games. Like I'll start something, then I'll be like, oh yay, shiny, and then I forget
Yeah.
about my backlog, and I can't do that.
I feel you, but Octopath is such a big game. You
I
gotta
know.
take a break from it every
Uh,
now and then, cause that shit is massive.
Never.
I
I'm
took a break from it
determined.
as
Yeah, but
well.
we were gone. We were gone way too long. So it's
Yeah, like a
like
month.
like you're at the point at Octopath where you really don't want to do that because you really need to remember all your skills intrinsically and like who you're gonna have in
Yeah,
combat and like why you have these certain party members together. Like it starts
yeah.
to become really
It took
important.
me a minute to remember. I was like, wait, now who does what? Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It took a second to get readjusted back into Octopath, but yeah, I got to go full force with Octopath right now.
Hmm. Okay, let's continue. Weeb, how are
oh,
you, man?
oh,
What you been playing?
I almost forgot you, Weeb.
yeah,
He had to
exactly.
think about that for
I
45
gotta
minutes.
think. Now who was it? Oh yeah, Weeb.
Oh yeah, who else is here?
Hey, I didn't forget him. I didn't forget him. That's a
Uh-huh.
plus.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Weeb.
Aside from the fact you almost forgot me, I'm good.
No. Go
No,
ahead.
yeah, I never don't believe you. What have I been playing? I
Did you play
haven't.
games?
I have played games, yes,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a gamer. Now, I've played Gundam Battle Operation Code Fairy, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna drop this because it's absolutely
Bad?
bullshit. Well, I mean, I like the story, but like the gameplay is just boring as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you need to it just you can lower the difficulty if you want, but then you can't unlock mobile suits for the I think multiplayer. So it's kind of forcing you to go through it on the higher difficulties, and it's just so stupid at times where you've basically done everything you have to do in the mission, and then you fucking die, because of one enemy mobile suit that's just running around uh, and the gameplay is really stupid because you can constantly get knocked down, and then you have to crawl back up, but you can still get hit when you're knocked down, and I don't know.
Is that
It's
the
just
Chibi Gundam that the demo
it's
I
not
played, or is it a
no
different
no
game?
no. This has real Gundam, so it has
Oh,
full
okay.
size
Yeah,
Gundams. Yeah.
no, I never heard of this game, but okay.
Uh, and other than that, I've started playing Chained Echoes because that was on sale.
Oh, nice. Because that's another game I had from Kofi. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those fake JRPGs. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, look, I know they're trying to be a JRPG, but there's always some uncanny valley aspect towards those Western-made JRPGs, where I say like, okay, I see the style you're going for, but and what you're inspired by, but you're just not quite the thing, right? There's something missing. Um, but so far so good. I do have to get used to the combat system, where basically you need to sort of every attack sort of moves the meter up to a certain sweet spot, and you have to stay there. That will reduce damage received and increase damage you deal. But uh, you have to avoid overheating because if you move too far to the right of your meter, and there are sort of random actions that like switch every 3 turns or something. It changes to which actions will increase or decrease your meter, and that's I have to get used to that because it's a bit weird. Like it's not complex or anything. It's pretty straightforward, but it's like sometimes just have to do like a random move that yeah lowers your meter or increases your meter without really the move you want to do, right? So sometimes you have to like defend because that will always decrease your meter, even though you want to attack. So I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be sold on that system, but the music is great. By the way, that's absolutely something that deserves
Yeah, I
compliment.
heard from Coffee. It is amazing. It's on the level of Octopath.
Yeah, but I haven't played enough yet to yeah determine if how good it is. But
Mm.
at least it's interesting enough at this point for me to keep on playing. So I will keep
What
on
about the
playing.
story?
Yeah, again, I'm not that far into
Oh,
it
you're not
yet,
so far. Okay.
but they're trying at least with world building. But there's like I said, there is something off in the sense that you like if this was an actual JRPG, you're missing certain subtext. I know how else to express it. Where yeah, you feel like it's not quite a JRPG, and there's a little stiffness in some of the dialogues where it just feels like a bit that it's more explanatory rather than really trying to make it like a natural like natural flowing dialogues. But I have to see when I continue playing the game how that will pan out because I'm really early in the game.
It was done by one person, wasn't it?
What?
Yeah, I did hear something like that. Yeah, so yeah,
Oh, okay.
in that respect, yeah, it's definitely impressive that one person was able to do this.
Yeah. Apparently it took a
So
long time, but yeah.
yeah, so I'm pretty sure it might have something have to do with budget. That's why it's missing certain things that you
Well,
already have.
like I said, it's not necessarily like it's sort of a feeling, right? It's not that it's sort of like uh, sort of reverse engineered JRPG, right? So you're basically trying to do everything that a JRPG does, but then you kind of that that's what it's doing, and it's
Yeah,
not that.
they make it very obvious.
Yeah, yeah. But still, so far, so good. Like I'm not sure where the story is going, but it does feel like there's potential there. So I will have to keep on playing to figure out if it's actually really good. But like the only thing that sort of bothers me at the moment is some of the stiffness of the dialogue, and yeah, I'm not sure about the combat system yet because it just feels like I get what they were going for, and it certainly is an interesting idea. Just sort of the idea that you have to use particular moves which are randomly switching up to yeah increase or lower a particular meter and rather than just using the best moves in the particular situation, right? Like so that's kind of weird to me, like a weird way to implement the combat system. But I'll have to see how it further develops.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. As for me, I I'm playing Yakuza Zero.
Good
First
on you, man. Good on you.
first time in the
Yeah.
franchise, and
Like a little
um,
clap though.
I I have no idea. Okay, so here is why I never played that game. All I knew about that game was the one side mission with the baby, with the man babies, and my worst nightmare: mini games with rhythms in it. I hate that stuff. But real talk, you can actually skip it if you don't care about it. And side quests, they're cool, but my issue is they're random. You don't know when you get one. So if you want to get one and have a different outcome with your side quest, which you could, it's very hilarious. You actually need to save before you start doing the side quest. Otherwise, you're gonna have a hard time finding knowing where you met that person to begin with. But other than that, the story in Yakuza, and mind you, I'm just in the first game. If this is how good in the first game is, all I'm gonna say is I met the fortune teller and she told me about my destiny or future and I got goosebumps. That's all I'm gonna say from that uh, yellow or golden haired person. That's all I'm gonna say. Yakuza fan, know what I'm talking about? Like goosebumps. That's how crazy that story. The protagonist is great. It's cool. Uh, the antagonists are you truly believe them and they feel real. Like I like maybe I'm too early. Maybe that's the honeymoon phase, but Kuza is a beast of a character, very fleshed out, very well believable. But yeah, enough of us. Sorry about that intro for literally 30 minutes. But that's what happens when you play games, and also when the people you interact with are actually people you're cool with, and not some people that are random. But yeah, before we get started, let's shout out the chat.
Uh,
Sony Sim. Oh,
okay, so you
sorry?
can see it. You said you
Sorry,
couldn't
what
see
did
it
you say?
earlier.
What did you say?
You said you couldn't see it earlier.
Yeah, no, I scrolled down and it's on the on the right side,
Oh, okay.
below. Sony Slim, what's up? Sea Fresh, what's up, man? Gaming this what's up? Godzilla in the house saying Forspoken amazing 8 out of 10 for me. I believe you. For I just made my mic louder.
Like
Crystal,
you're in the yellow now.
Yeah,
what
you
that
loud
mean?
stuff, man.
Oh,
You're in the
so
yellow
so
on OBS, which means you're
so
louder than everyone else. So I don't know.
I
Oh
just
man,
turned it
I'm
down.
our shit fucking up.
So maybe Christos, that's a you issue,
No
unless
blame Christos
Steve,
for that.
No, I mean
unless Steve,
I turned it up. I turned
unless
it up.
Steve Fresh and the other are having can't hear me. Can you guys hear me? I'm waiting on a reply before we continue. Um,
I'm pretty sure they don't mean
so,
they physically can't hear you at all, but yeah.
oh, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna start, and if someone can't hear me, let me know, and then we're gonna see if we can do anything about it.
Can can
Um,
can, can I just say one thing because I just
Go ahead.
about Forspoken. Like it's not for me. I haven't played it, but about the cringe dialogue, just one thing. I've seen some cutscenes from Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm like, anybody that dares
Oh
to laugh
man.
about the talk complain about the cringe for Forspoken. Yeah, if they don't keep the same energy for Tears of the Kingdom, then they
They're
should shut
not.
up.
They're not.
Oh,
Come
call him
on.
out, Weeb. Call him out.
Weeb. Tears of the Kingdom is media darling. Come on.
Yeah,
You
but
should know better.
the fact that they should have left everybody, you should have left every character, with mute or without dialogue, because that's the worst mistake they ever made. Because if you're gonna do it well, because that dialogue is horrible.
But that's the thing.
Yeah, they're not gonna talk about
Nintendo,
that.
Yep.
get away with murder.
Yep.
We've been saying it. Um, let's jump to the first topic. Shout out to Innate for allowing me to have him used as a bank. I'll explain it in a bit. Okay, so let's start with um, another game released unfinished broken mess to the point where the developer had actually to come out and apologize. This one, it's the Golem from the spin-off from
Lord
what
of
you
the
call it?
Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Ring, and it's sitting on 38 on Meta. But that's not the conversation. The conversation is another game allowed to be released unfinished, broken. How long? Like shout out to people. They put out not statistic, but almost like a graphic where you can see every single game that are released unfinished. And yo, uh, this year alone, no, not this year. So we have Cyberpunk, we have Bethesda, we have Jedi Survivor, we have Forspoken, we have Redfall, we have Halo Infinite, we have the Golem. We have even Death, Evil Death, the game that no Evil West, I think, the game that Kay played. They put out a statement. Last of Us, they put out a statement. So, is it going to be the future of the industry? If so, are we gonna see a moment where people are gonna say, "Fuck it, we're not gonna play. We're gonna not gonna buy your game day one," and we're gonna see a crash? Cause this is not acceptable. This is what literally the eighth, if not ninth game, and most of them are no, not most. All of them, so far I know, are triple A games released like that. What's going on?
I mean, AAA
Nate, what's
development,
up, man?
AAA development it's hard, man. It's clearly there's a lot going on. The introduction of some more elements or performance elements that are issues as well. Like I talked about heavily with Morgan when we were talking about performance issues for Jedi Survivor specifically, where they baked in the ray tracing on the console version, where it essentially, from at least what we understand so far, they can't turn it off. Um, and that was actually something that I said I'd never wanted developers to do because I saw them do that something similar with Battlefield, where basically when they essentially turned off ray tracing, they had no reflections, rather than having your standard reflections and then also having ray tracing to enhance them. Because RTX is an incredible uh, technology, but it is a insane resource hog. So that's causing performance issues on top of a lot of the bugs and glitches and stuff that's going on. Um, Funny enough, there is something that I kind of wonder about because it's weird to me how devs seem to be able to fix certain things really easily and not other things. I'd have to see someone who specifically delves into the programming side of it to really get in and get those out of there. But like for instance, there was a bunch of glitches and duplication glitches that you could do in Tears of the Kingdom, and like in two updates, Nintendo murdered the brakes off of those like immediately. Two updates that came out like 2 days apart.
I have a question then. Maybe because Nintendo, because let's keep it real. Nintendo is the Switch is not a powerful system.
No, they're not.
Maybe
But
because of that.
even back then on PS4 and stuff, like they still weren't able to technically always target, things that they knew were going on. So it's like things that we know, like obviously those are being shown or they know about them because of YouTubers and all that. But there's a
Hmm.
bunch of glitches and stuff that we've talked about, like the one that I ran into on Jedi Fallen Order that never was fixed. That basically caused me to have to restart the game.
I feel you because I played Valhalla and I ran through a glitch. It's a story glitch, mind you. And I looked it up on YouTube, and this glitch have been from the beginning of the game release, and they never fixed it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm wondering, kind of, I guess, code complexity differences, things like that. What causes a company to be able to find them really easily and get rid of them versus something like that? Now, obviously, something like Valhalla has infinitesimally more complex coding as far as like the amount of characters. Like, there's probably 10,000 characters in Valhalla versus like, a couple hundred in something like Tears of the Kingdom, which
Yeah,
have far less dialogue and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I'm not really sure what's kind of going on with that. I mean, obviously they can fix some of it, um, as you kind of go along, but it just seems to be a combination between finding the sweet spot for performance and trying to balance that with their vision on top of getting the game out in a timely manner. Um, because even then, like you said, we have some games that it takes forever, and there's still multiple glitches and bugs that can potentially, and ultimately we're talking about game breaking stuff, not silly stuff where oh, I got flung off the map, or something like stuff that actually crashes your system. Um,
Like for
so
example, with Weeb, when he went in one
the
elevator
elevator.
in Jedi Survivor, and the game glitched on him, and it was game breaking
Yeah,
until
he found out you could just look at the floor
yeah,
or something, but
he
yeah.
just not need to look up, and the game would work fine with the elevator. So it's like yeah, I don't know. Here is what make it even difficult for me. We have videos. We have now YouTube. We have now Reset Era and all that stuff. Is it why can't developers just go to there and they can see what's going on and then dictate how to fix it? Is that difficult?
Well, I mean, you gotta so to understand like, and I get it, right? It's not the easiest thing, but that's why I said I wonder why uh, Tears of the Kingdom seems to do it so easily. Um, but they basically explained when asked about it publicly at one point was like, you have to understand the thing with coding is that in one instance you want to go in and fix something, but you have to be very careful that that doesn't break something else. So like it just seems like oh that coding hey line B slash C take out this coding and replace it with this coding and it fixes that, but inadvertently it could break something else. So now when you get on, let's say now you fix the elevator, but now the button prompt might not come up like it's supposed to because you accidentally changed something you weren't supposed to when you did it,
Mm-hmm.
because the coding is just such a mashup. And like I said again, I imagine that has to do with different engines and a bunch of other stuff like we've seen with Unreal versus Decima versus whatever the hell Nintendo's using. And you can see a big difference in how they're able to get rid of certain things. Um, that's something that's kind of going on now with Unreal Engine 5. Like you are seeing a lot of games developed on it right now, and it is an incredible looking engine, but there's a lot of optimization and other stuff going on that they're kind of struggling with. I know because playing Fortnite on PC, they did the update for Unreal Engine 5, and you can see some of it if you play 60 FPS and not 120 on Fortnite on PS5. But really, like the ultimate mode that they added is only on PC. But it
What's an
basically,
ultimate mode?
well, no, I'm saying like basically you can see the full might of Unreal Engine 5. Basically, all
Okay.
the bells and whistles that they added and stuff, but the optimization is all over the place. Like obviously, like I have a
And that's not
4090,
acceptable
which
on PlayStation? The ultimate
no, no,
mode?
no, no. The optimization is fine on PlayStation because
Mm,
they fine tuned it to you can't change it, right? You don't mess with settings the way that you do on PC. But on
yeah.
PC, obviously, I have a high end computer with a 4090, which you can't get a better graphics card right now. And it's like when my 4090 seems to be struggling to run above 100 FPS on something like Fortnite, then obviously something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean by optimization
I
issues.
correct me if I'm wrong, but this issue, developer coming out and apologizing and releasing games unfinished, I don't recall it being that to such degree with the PlayStation 4 generation. Mind you, I was not on Twitter to such degree, so maybe it was I just missed it.
I mean, I've been on Twitter, but for a long time. So I mean, I've been on since like 2010.
So,
So
do
I
you
mean,
recall the PlayStation for the previous generation having such that much of issue.
No, I mean there were still. I mean that was obviously the generation where day one patches really got started, but I mean for the most part they were pretty fine. So yeah, it wasn't nearly anything the way that we're seeing games crashing our systems and stuff like that repeatedly, and so on and so forth. I mean, like I said, we had the one where Morgan was playing Jedi Survivor and we had to try a couple workarounds just to get her game to load in, and then she was able to finish it thereafter. But that's kind of like I said, I don't. It's not excusable, but I get how tough it is, especially the bigger your game is. And Jedi Survivor is actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's kind of crazy because I'm not even sure I'm that far yet. But
Yeah, no, the game is big. The game is
yeah,
big.
it's massive. So like I get how like in house, without proper simulation tools and certain things, you may not be able to. You'll never catch everything, right? That's not really what we're talking about. But trying to at least get the game breaking stuff out of the way, um, is definitely something they're going to need tools for more in the future, and I think that's really more so what it is, and that's what they're kind of learning. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see if that actually turns out to be the case here, coming up, because the very famous bug guys themselves, Bug Thesda,
Bethesda.
yeah, they're about to show up
Yeah.
and they're claiming that they have a new simulation tech that basically goes through and plays the game thousands and thousands and thousands of times
Yeah.
and
Okay.
finds a bunch of issues and
Yeah. 15
bugs.
times the detail. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I
Anyway.
know, I know,
I was literally
I
about
know,
to say that.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, Todd.
So we'll see. I'm not gonna believe my man. I definitely expect to,
Mind
fly
you,
off a platform.
16 times the detail was not his first fly, yeah?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, Todd's they're the most famous bug guys. So I will say if they can do it, then obviously the tools are getting better. The tools quotes.
The
If they can
Oh,
do it, then maybe the industry gonna get better, or
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
unless they don't care.
Yeah. I just think COVID really messed the game industry up. Honestly, it shook it to its core, and I know people started hearing the COVID excuse, but it really
Hmm.
did like have a ripple effect, and it's still causing a lot for people to transition because a lot of people are working from home, and it's a lot harder to do game development when you're not all in the same building. You can just walk over and get, okay, we changed the art direction, or we changed this environmental effect, or it's a lot harder communication when you're sitting at home by yourself, behind a computer. So I think a lot of developers and publishers are just learning how to make it work from home, and I think that's what's leading to all these bugs and glitches and needs for consistent
Mm-hmm.
patches all the time. But like Nate said, I think it's going to take a year or two, but they're eventually going to learn how to properly develop from home, so that we won't have, hopefully, cross our fingers, we won't have these consistent issues you know
Mm-hmm.
throughout the PS5 life cycle.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Weeb?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said that also last week. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's more bugs now since they've been working from home. So, and I mean, and someone is also working, on a daily basis with developers. I kind of understand why that's more challenging because it's pretty hard to get a grasp on what people are working on when they're working from home. So I really prefer to work in the office with people where I can see them and I can talk to them at least on a regular basis. So I can understand that will um, yeah introduce more inefficiencies and bugs and whatever. So that's probably a factor in why releases are more buggy, or at least appear to be more buggy, at least for PlayStation, because at least my per- perception there is that there's more, that their games are less polished now than they used to be. But
Hmm.
overall, I mean, I'd say, buggy releases and broken games is not necessarily anything new. Maybe there's also part of that is that we are much more it's much more visible now because of social media, because of all the exposure they're getting. So it's possible a part of that is our perception that we're just not remembering well that games used to be buggy as well. The only difference, let's say, is that I do feel like developers have become much more accustomed, and that's not just now; that's previous generation as well. To release a game and just fix it afterwards, because I can just put in my if I feel like it, switch on my PS3, put in a PS3 game, and it doesn't need to download any patch or whatever. It will just play from disk, right? And that's kind of at least that's a difference I've noticed because a lot of PS4 games, will probably basically need a day one patch, right? Or it doesn't necessarily need it, but there's a day one patch. Most games have a day one patch, so
Mm.
it's definitely a thing where they sort of come accustomed to doesn't matter, we can always fix it later. And I don't know if that's part of a mindset that's shifted or properly, or that games might have become more complicated and therefore it more can go wrong. Uh, Also, a large part will be because of the publishers and yeah, sometimes platform holders just want to get a game out there, uh, you know, regardless of the status in, because it's cheaper probably for them to have the game out there and then wait longer because waiting longer means you're not making any money in the game and it's only costing money. That you'll accept potential drop in sales because the game isn't up to snuff right from the start. Um, I think some of that is certainly calculated that they but if a game is broken, it's broken, right? I mean that Gollum game never looked good to begin with, so I'm not surprised that game is a broken mess. Though I suppose you at least expect the game to be in a decent shape, even if it wasn't very good. But I I'm yeah, I don't know. I haven't really read what the response was, but uh, it's possible that they might have realized the game was a steaming pile of shit, and they just decide, okay, yeah, instead of wasting more money on this, let's just drop it out there in whatever state it's in, and we can try patching a few things. But in the end, that game was never gonna do well in the first place because it just wasn't any fun, and we're just gonna try to recuperate any losses or any costs that we can, and move on to the next thing. That's probably a consideration with with this game. Probably also the reason why Redfall was just released, because they realized that they never were never going to fix that game because it was boring as fuck, and it's just a business decision, I suppose, and it doesn't mean it's okay, but it's I guess that's probably something that also factors in these days.
No, agreed.
Mhm.
Redfall's game of the year, sir. Just know that.
Oh, I'm
Re-
sorry. I'm sorry.
That's
I
game of the
think
year.
I think
I
Redfall
forgot.
is the definition of what Santos just typed in. But shout out to Santos. Look, um, I'm nobody of you answered my question. Do you think this is gonna hit with a gaming crash in
No.
the industry?
No, no.
Because at what point did people like you and me gonna say, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna invest in you anymore until you give us a finished product and
Yeah,
not an
but
unfinished
you don't
product.
know when that's going to be though. Well,
And
But that's the thing. If every game coming out broken like that,
Yeah,
when do you
but
say
not every game is coming up
not
broken
every,
like that.
but for the most part, it's like literally 8 games. I pulled out 8 games that were broken. This
Yeah,
year alone, 4 or 5.
that's out of
yeah,
what, 300? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, every game is not it,
I'm
but
not
it
saying
does feel
you're
like
wrong.
that.
It will make people more cautious. Is the real answer
Yeah.
to your
Mhm.
question? That is what will happen. But no, it's not going to make us stop.
And we have to remember, like us, like we don't make up the majority of gaming. The casuals do, and they're not really keeping up with what's broken, what's not, what's coming out hot, what's not. Like they just see a game and they're like, okay, I'm interested in that, and they buy it. Like like we I don't think we as gamers, like the hardcore, will ever really make a kind of dent like that. Us not getting it won't stop the game from succeeding or failing. It just, the game will continue to sell if it's a popular IP or it's a sequel to something that people really like. Like it, unfortunately, I don't think us doing anything would matter.
Yeah, I think you're more
Mm,
so you gotta keep in mind like for instance like Morgan got her brother Hogwarts for his birthday. He has no idea all the controversy, all the nonsense, all the stuff that happened. He has no idea what happened with that game. All he knows is his sister got him a game that he wanted to play and he playing it. That's all he knows.
mm,
So like he's completely oblivious to all the stuff that we knew and all the controversy in social media and so on and so forth. And that's really the majority of people who are purchasing these games. So yeah, we have
so
an
what you're
effect,
saying
but
is,
yeah, not
as
really.
long as the casuals don't revolt, then we're good.
I mean, essentially, yeah, it's not gonna. You're never gonna crash
Mm,
off of that. As long as something looks good, looks promising, and
Hmm.
people are interested in it, like yeah, you're going to get these huge influxes of sales, especially an unknown IP. Like I said, like something like Harry Potter. Um, and I mean that's just gonna be the result. Like yeah, like they'll look to us for certain advice, and things like that. So yeah, you'll sometimes get some effect where it's like, oh well, I'm gonna talk to my friend, and see if they what they think I should do about this game. So yeah, like sometimes they'll be in the know, but like very rarely.
mm-hmm.
And don't underestimate people's ability to lower their standards.
Oh, absolutely,
I mean, yeah,
Hmm.
they play
absolutely.
Dreadfall. They play
Yep.
Dreadfall,
Oh,
so there's
I
that.
think that was shots fired at us, Tony. Like, god damn. Like, okay.
No, no, that's not you. You played it because you're with the Nate, but I was
What
gonna
do you
play it.
mean as game of the year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Game of the year.
yeah,
I'm
game of
saying,
the
like,
year.
if
Okay.
it isn't get nominated, we're rioting. Just know that.
Yep.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, the next topic, which is going to be what was revealed at the PlayStation Showcase,
Oh,
um,
yay.
which is uh, Alan Wake 2, but it's not about how hype people are excited of the game. It's about what Remedy came out and stated. So, Alan Wake 2 is digital only and will not launch on physical disc. Remedy says a large number have shifted to digital, and this helped keep the price of a game at 60 and the PC version at 50. Okay, shout out to Shinobi. He is the one that's reporting on it, but he also reported on this. In Europe, Jedi Survivor 45% of sales were physical. Dead Space Remake sold comfortably better in box versus digital. Resident Evil 4 sold very slightly better digital at practically 50-50. Significant chunks for Epic Games and Remedy Games to miss out on. Via this is from GameIndustry.biz. Um, so, um, I uh, I'm curious, guys. Especially you, you're a fan, Morgan. What your thoughts? And do you think that they're making a mistake by going digital only? And do you think they're setting a precedent for other industry leaders to follow them so soon?
Um, yeah, especially for me personally, I definitely plan on getting Alan Wake 2 day one. Played Alan Wake 1 for the first time when they remastered it for the PS5. It really
I
enjoyed it,
think this
and
year, right?
yeah, well, was it this? No, it was
Last year?
2021. I want to
Oh,
say,
okay. No,
yeah,
I recall you playing it. I recall you telling us you're playing it, so
yeah,
I knew
yeah,
you then. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Um, but yeah, was excited when they first announced. I think it was last year they first announced they were going to do an Alan Wake 2, and then we got the official, little trailer and little bits of gameplay and the date, which it happens to come out on my birthday. Yes, it's meant to be. Yeah, the news that it's going to be digital only, that was definitely a surprise. Usually, larger studios that make AAA games tend to make their games both physical and digital. I was really looking forward to getting another physical copy because I have the copy I have for Alan Wake is I want to say it's physical. I don't remember, but
Now you have a digital.
okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot you downloaded it, but I was looking forward because it's a really good game, and I was kind of hoping there would be like a nice steelbook for it. The game looks fantastic, by the way. I'm excited to play as both Alan Wake and then the FBI agent or whoever. But yeah, that definitely came out as a surprise that they were going digital only. And I know Shinobi posted the ratio of people who bought physical versus digital. Maybe Remedy was looking at like their own games, like Control and the Alan Wake remaster, and they noticed that most people were buying it digitally, and so they shifted to digital only. I don't know which numbers they were looking at, but it sucks. But I don't necessarily think it'll start a precedence for a digital only release. I think physical is still very important for a lot of publishers worldwide because not everybody has access to the internet and can download games and download games at a decent rate. So physical is still very important for a lot of the countries and regions that publishers like Xbox and PlayStation and other big publishers make games for. So I don't think it'll, at least not this generation, affect the physical sales of games just yet.
Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting that they said in order to keep the the price at 60.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you don't need to keep it at 60 for digital though. You're saving on disk. You're saving on everything. It should be cheaper. This is why I'm calling bullshit on that.
Wait, what do you mean?
What I mean is, they said in order to keep the price cheap,
Well, they said
not
in order
not
to not
reaching
make it
70.
70, so I mean they
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean they're saving
yeah.
money on
I'm like,
manufacturing costs.
if you're doing so, why the fuck are the digital then 60? Then 60. Digital is not like physical. Digital should be cheaper.
Um, yeah, true, but I mean it's still, you still have to make it 60 because the cost of making games is still there, even though you're not putting it on a physical disc. They still spend millions of dollars to make the game, so they still have to make a profit. But yeah, I guess I kind of get the whole, since we're not making discs and cases and having to pay distributing, fees and all that stuff for putting it out, shipping fees and the rest of it,
Mm-hmm.
we can save money and we can kind of, push those savings onto the consumer so that the game won't be 70, which is cool. But I mean, I would have paid that extra $10, but I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, maybe they'll see enough of a pushback or people asking for it. Maybe they'll do a physical release later. Like, hey, we've seen you guys really want a physical release of this game, so we'll do it like a couple months after the game releases or something. Who knows?
They will be
But
crucified for it, I think.
you think?
Yeah, yeah. Because then they're gonna say, oh, so you could have done it, but you didn't do it. Nah, I don't think we're gonna see that, but maybe. Um, what you thought?
I mean, you know what my position is. I mean, I love physical. I still prefer to buy my games physical if I can. And yes, part of that is the cost aspect because I can generally get every game, new game, cheaper physically than I can get them, digitally. Like I just bought Diablo 4 for 65 euros, right? While it's like
Nice, that's a steal.
yeah, new, right? Physically.
That's like you saved what, close to 20 euro.
Yeah, but you'll never get that deal, at least, yes, there are certainly digital deals, but you never get that deal,
Day
day
one.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So for me, it's not like it's no contest, right? I'll get it physically. I'm not gonna, pay more for something that I don't even own because it's a license, and if it is physically, you know, I don't know. If I lose my account, I still have the physical game, right? And if the
Mm-hmm.
servers go down, I still can play the game on my console offline. It's all possible. So, yeah, this move, like, by the way, I didn't actually notice that the price was cheaper. So I guess they kind of are trying to sort of see if that will convince people to, overlook that and just buy digitally. I'd say for part of the community, they will probably buy it digitally then because they have no other option. But it's possible that it's possible. I think it's certainly they will see a knock on effect. There will people not buy the game, especially people who are not
Yeah,
necessarily
there is a boycott. People are
Mm-hmm.
boycotting it.
well, not necessarily boycott, but just don't underestimate the amount of people who buy physical because they can sell it to a GameStop or whatever, and get some money back, and then buy a new game or a new secondhand game from that. Right? There are plenty of people that do that, so that's
Hmm.
still a thing, and those people will probably they won't have a choice. They will probably not play this game because it's not part of their buying strategy, right? It's no longer an option for them,
Hmm.
and they will, and like people like me, like I generally buy them physically because they're cheaper. There will be people like that who are on a budget and will ignore this game, even though it's now at 60. Um, they might wait for a sale or whatever. And the problem with waiting for a sale is, aside from probably you're getting a smaller cut from for that game, uh, there's a higher chance that people will just forget about it, right? Like if you're going to wait for a sale, there's also a good chance that you will eventually decide, okay, I'm not going to buy the game because or
Hmm.
forget about it because at that point in time something else comes out that gets your attention, and you might never go back to it. So there's a high risk there that people might wait and then end up not buying it. I say for the fans, like Morgan, yeah, you're gonna buy it either way, right? There's no choice for you there. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah. I'm sorry. I ain't
Yeah, I
got no
mean
morals.
I mean, it's your
So
birthday,
we
so of
were.
course.
Are you a
Uh,
fan?
no, not particular. So for me, it's not uh,
So
as big
it's not
of
impacting you. So
it.
let's say you
Well,
were. Would you have bought it digital or would you have boycotted it?
well,
I'm curious.
well, well. It I wouldn't say it's not impacting me because if it was physically available, I think the chances would be higher that I would have bought it than if than now it's only digital. Not because I'm
Mm.
just boycotting it, but again, like I prefer that. That's my preferred way of consuming games. So yeah, then you're essentially making it less. There's a less incentive for me for going for it, and I might be considering also how often there are sales on the PlayStation Store. It's very easy for me to decide to wait on the game. Like then it's
Mm.
going to be not as important for me to get this day one. But if I were a
Interesting.
fan, if we're a fan, yeah, if I don't have an option Like if I was a fan and I had to play this game day one, yeah, I don't have an option, so that's the only choice I'm gonna make. Is getting a digital release. Yeah, then there are no contest. So it's of course it's harder if you're a fan to decide to not play the game or boycott the game, whatever, out of a principle stance. But I do say that, of course, it is a bad precedent because if this succeeds, yeah, it might entice other developers or publishers to do the same because they might feel that the loss of sales doesn't affect them as much as we would hope it would. But I think based on like what Shinobi showed, the distribution of sales, you're going to lose some people. You're going to lose, and the question is it going to offset the cost that you save, which I highly doubt is that much because in manufacturing a disc in a case like that's not that expensive. The distribution costs are going to be the major chunk there, but even that is generally the margins for these retail stores is very low. So it's not like you're losing a lot of money in that. And you also, I think, even in digital, you still have. I'm not sure entirely how what the split there is, but uh, I think they actually have to pay more there to actually be able to put the game on the platform. So I'm not entirely sure if your cut is actually bigger if you forgo the physical sales.
Mm-hmm. By the way, is it fair to say that they actually lost a customer out of you because you were more likely to buy it if it was physical than digital?
Potentially, but I'd say I'm not to say the part of that group that you might definitely lose. Like I said, there were some people who buy physical out of necessity because that's how they basically get the money to buy games. They sell them and then buy the game secondhand. So you will probably lose that portion of gamers because they would then okay if it's secondhand you probably don't make any money anyway. But if they would have bought this new and with intent to sell it, yeah, then those people won't buy the game. And yeah, there will be people who boycott it and people who will lose interest. And for me, it's a I wasn't entirely sure of getting it day and date either way. Uh, but yes, the chances are much lower now because the game is it's not available physically.
Gotcha. Morgan, how many time do you have left before you need to leave?
I still have like an hour.
Oh, an hour left. Okay, I thought maybe I need to start.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
good.
probably gonna finish it.
Um,
So
yeah, yeah. Nate, what's your thought?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even care.
You don't care?
Yeah, like I don't.
Oh man, not like this.
The physical digital thing never really thing. I mean, I agree with Weeb. Like I just I agree with Weeb though. Like because I mean I mentioned my real issue
You're
with
digital only, right?
no I'm not. But
Oh, you're not.
my issue
Okay.
with digital
Don't listen to
only.
him. Yeah, he is.
I'm not. My issue
Yeah,
with
he likes buying digital because he likes getting those two copies,
I
so he don't have to
do.
buy two games.
I do. But I don't need two copies of every game.
Uh huh.
But
Uh huh.
the problem is, like I said, like we've said, sales, right? So sales is a major factor for for me because like I mentioned, something I wanted to play a while back that I was telling Morgan about, and it was on sale physically, but the digital stores do a really poor job of keeping stuff or creating permanent price cuts. They don't really do that, so um, yeah, that's definitely an issue for me. Where I think that's more so the issue for me is just like the lack of like like they said it should be cheaper, but then you're not really getting the cost of savings or whatever. So um, I'm losing my train of thought, but uh,
No, I feel you because digital games will go on sale and like it'll be like, oh, it's 30% off, oh, it's 40% off, and then like next week it'll be back at full price, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that.
Which
And the
is
game the game will be like 2 3 years old. I'm like, how the hell is this game
Yeah,
$60
why is this
still?
game 60?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's my real issue with digital only is like physical stores don't do that. Like if a game drops to like 20
Mm-hmm.
bucks, 19.99 in store, it's going to remain that. And then you might get a sale on
Mm-hmm.
top of that. So like I bought what was it? We were talking about Lord of the Rings earlier. So what was the Shadow of
Golem?
War?
You bought
I'm
Golem?
about to
I
say
bought
Mordor or whatever.
Yeah, I bought Shadow of War. I wanted to get it
Oh,
back.
oh.
I had a lot of fun with it. I already own it on PC, but I wanted to play it on PlayStation because I want the trophies.
Oh, you should have it. We have a PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I know, but that was before it was on there. It wasn't on there yet.
Oh, okay. Gotcha, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha,
Plus, I
gotcha.
was a really big fan of the game. I wanted to own it because I owned the first
Oh,
one.
okay.
But the game was not on sale, right? So I was telling Morgan, I was like, "Oh, we were doing something randomly, and then I was like, oh, I bought this game and on Amazon, and I got it for like I was telling her I got it for like $14 or something, and then of course later that very next week, yeah, it finally went on sale and it was like 9.99 for like the holy shit edition on digital.
Yeah.
But the problem is I don't know when that sale was gonna come, and I had it on my wish
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
list for like 2 months, and it never went on
Mm-hmm.
sale. So, and we had like 4 or 5 sales on PlayStation. So I was like, oh, well, it's probably not going to happen. So I bought
Yeah,
it
it's
physically.
crazy with PlayStation. They go sale after sale after sale after sale. And you never know what's gonna in there.
Yeah, you
Gonna
never
be
know
in
what's going to
there.
be in there. Exactly. And it's like certain things you don't mind waiting on, like that Gundam, mini game that you were talking about,
Hmm.
the Chibi Gundams. Like I waited on that
Yeah.
forever because I was like, and then I even more so now because they put it in Game Pass. So I was like, all right, so you telling me ultimately it's not worth shit. So I'm gonna chill on that till it's like five
Oh
dollars.
damn.
So that's their fault. So yeah, for the record, anybody who ever listens to this, when you put shit in Game Pass, it immediately lessens the value to me. So
Wait. Even a name like Tunic. Well, I know you don't care about Tunic,
yeah, I
but
was like, that don't. No, but I'm saying like so like there was another game that came out. Those turn-based JRPG kind of s thing. I can't remember what it's called
that
right
was
now.
that was Chained Echo. Chained Echo was the Game Pass.
No, no, no. But Chained Echoes was also like $24, and I heard it was really dope. So I went on ahead and I bought that on PlayStation. So
Mm.
that's the difference. If you're absolutely 100% fire, don't worry about it. But if I'm on the fence and you throw it in Game Pass, yeah, that's where you're gonna end
Mhm.
up. You're gonna end up on a Black Friday sale.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think digital. I mean, if companies really want to see a higher increase in digital future more than anything, they're going to have to regulate the digital stores a lot better. They're regulated really poorly right now. Like we said, we all
We
really love and appreciate all the sales that PlayStation has on, but like you said, you just never know. That one game that you want may never go on sale. You know what's funny? One of the things I have to do, I have to put the specific edition I want because the
Yeah.
game never goes on sale for both.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
yeah. Or they like for example with Forspoken, the normal game is for 60 or
exactly.
70 or 80. I forgot the exact price. But if you go to the fuck Giga edition, you can get it for 50.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, why are you not highlighting that? Why
yeah.
are you not? It makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense if the Fagiga, if the normal one is in discount, you're not gonna make the Fagiga edition discount as well. But if the Fagiga edition is in discount,
I
why
love
not
this
let
word.
the people know that the normal one is also on discount? Make it 30. Like,
Yeah,
make it make sense.
that's another thing about digital sales, like you say, Omar. They'll have like the deluxe edition for like 30, and I'm like, ooh. But then the regular edition will be like 60, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't
so
it
weird.
doesn't make any
it
sense.
is weird. And also, one biggest thing is it's a fucking the the store itself. Like me and Viper, we complain about it all the time. How the store is very difficult to find games, cause you type it in and it never comes up. You need to, you and your luck when it comes to game stores. When it comes to finding games in stores. Like for example, let's say I want to type in to get to find Forspoken. Sometimes I can't even find a game like Forspoken or something else.
Yeah, they do need to fix the search. I know they
They
adjusted it or something last time, but it's still not fixed because I was looking for a game
Mhm.
that I knew was there, and every time I would type it, it wouldn't come up. And if I typed the whole thing, it wouldn't come up. But I discovered if I typed the first three letters or something, then it would show up as like the fifth game or something, and it's completely broken. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
the search is
By the way,
weird.
I
yeah,
I need I need to explain to Nelson. I mean in our crew we have something called the fuck. They say the N word, but because I can't, I call it the fuck giga edition. It's I like to say that because it's very funny to say it,
yeah.
but doesn't take the fact that
Luca likes to say ninja. So
fuck ninja edition. I like that, but
yeah.
it doesn't hit as hard as the fuck Giga edition. That's as harder. I think we all clear about this conversation. For
Mhm.
me, I do believe it's setting a precedent, especially because you guys have forgotten. Microsoft already moved to digital or close to digital only.
Oh,
Like
I know.
if if you look at their
Other
what we
sales
call
are
it,
in the gutter,
I mean,
Let's say
basically.
what's
yeah,
else?
that's true,
Yeah.
that's
What else?
also,
Yeah.
but yeah, they don't do physical that much.
Well, that's another reason why
Um,
they don't get
Yeah.
physical releases from third
I
parties as
mean,
much
I know a
either.
lot of people,
yeah,
or let me say a lot, but I've seen some gamers upset that Xbox gamers that Ghostwire Tokyo didn't even get a physical for Xbox, and we got a
That's
steelbook for
insane.
PlayStation,
And it's
yeah.
a
and
beautiful
If
steelbook.
you
and I got it. It's great. It's
nothing,
fantastic.
if you wanna use that, you gotta pay royalty to Kay. I think she's the one that came up with it. But I think we have destroyed this topic. Let's move on to the next one, which is going to be PlayStation sales. Apparently, PlayStation is doing really well. Um, Give me a second. Where is it? Oh shit! I don't have it. Very quick, cause I thought I had,
Oh
but
man.
no,
You
I
lost it.
genuinely thought, but I have it very quick. No, I have it very quick. Here it is. Um, I I I blame myself for there he is. Sorry about that. PlayStation business update. PlayStation VR 2 selling faster than PlayStation VR 1. So the people for the article that said the PlayStation VR is not selling 2 is not selling well, egg on your face. PlayStation 5 supply and production fixed. We already knew that. 30% of PlayStation Plus subscribers are premium or extra. Okay. Big focus on new IP. I love that. We didn't see that in the event, but we're going to talk about that. PlayStation Studio game to cover every genre. I like that, but then I want it to be first party and not third party. I want PlayStation to invest in Japan Studio. A cross-media push and balance of single and player and live service. We absolutely gonna talk about that. Um, so, with that being said, sales for PC. Spider-Man sold 1.5 million on PC. Last of Us sold 368K. I mean, to be fair, Last of Us was dog shit on PC. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
I said on
Yeah,
PC.
yeah, yeah. I
No,
mean,
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you're right.
that was the
You're
issue
right.
there.
I feel like they could have sold more, but just that port was just so
It
ass.
was
I
bad.
don't think it would have hit Black Spider-Man, because, come on, Spider-Man did.
No, I don't think it would hit like Spider Man, but just from coming off of the popularity of the show, I think it would have
It
at
definitely
least
would have
got
sold better.
like maybe half a million or 750,000. You
Mm,
know, closer, to a million than
Which,
mm-hmm.
that.
to be fair to them though, they did fix it inside of a week. So a lot of people don't talk
Did
about
they?
that. They
Did they,
did.
Nate?
They did.
You tell me Joel Blackface is gone? Oh man.
I think that, not to be fair to them, I think that goes to highlight just how they should have delayed it.
No, I mean, I agree. I'm just saying, as opposed to all this nonsense that we were talking about with all the broken games, they still fixed that inside of a week, which is impressive.
Okay.
Because it was
Um,
extremely broken.
it
And
was, it
yeah, it
was.
went like 100% playable inside of a week, which is, that part is impressive, including on the Steam Deck.
Okay. So, what's your thoughts on everything in 8 with PlayStation,
I
the
mean,
growth?
obviously, it looks like, they're doing the right thing. I mean, the question is continuing to do the right thing going forward. I mean, yeah,
Nah,
we're
they fumbled that. We're gonna talk about that.
Damn. He gonna ask you your opinion. He said no.
I mean,
No, hey, he
Say what you
said
think.
if
Oh no,
they
that's wrong.
continue.
yeah, I
Okay,
said
let me ask you this.
if.
From the showcase, did they continue? Oh, now we're gonna go there. We're
I mean,
gonna go there
just
later.
mash it. You might as well mash it together. It's a whole conversation. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
I'm gonna.
right now they're doing good. We're obviously eating good. There's obviously plenty to play. We're all going to be playing, or at least
Mm,
you got Final Fantasy 16 up and coming. You've got a lot to play. We're playing a lot. We could barely keep up with what we've got on our plate. Spider Man's up and coming, but the issue is, what was shown at the show in combination with where we're going, at least right now, doesn't look that good.
mm-hmm.
It was very
Okay.
suspect and a lot of stuff was missing. So it's like, yeah, right now we're looking good as far as, like you said, their growth and things like that. They got Arizona Sunshine 2 for the PlayStation VR and some of the other stuff. Like, I mean, they're moving in the right direction in some things, but I'm obviously very, very, very cautious about the whole live service thing, especially after that terrible ass game that they showed on their stage from Square Enix. I don't know who greenlit that trash. I'm gonna need whoever keeps greenlighting these terrible games from Square Enix to stop. Like, that game is gonna be shut down 6 months to a year, like, maximum. Like, the game is going
Mm,
nowhere. So yeah, like,
okay.
if that's a premise for what we're looking at for, their potential live service games, is not looking good. I mean, they didn't make that, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that they're like, oh yeah, look at this, while we happen to be on stage. Um, yeah, I mean, the current growth is obviously based on what they've done, but I mean, if you're going to continue to see that growth, you have to show people what's coming. That's what PlayStation has usually been good at it. Um, they've usually been great at that at their showcase specifically, and that's why I said the two topics kind of go together, because the showcase was obviously an incredible failure as far as first party goes, with the exception of Spider-Man, which looked great, which has got quite a bit of polishing to be done here going forward. And I think we're just going to get a phenomenal game because Insomniac is a beast. But yeah, I mean, we need to see what these other studios are doing. We need to know what's on the horizon, and we need to actually see that they're going to fully support single player story driven games the way that they have, and they're not just sacrificing, all these top tier studios in an attempt to try and garner 1 to 2 possible, multiplayer driven live service games, because I'm gonna tell you, that's the biggest shot in the dark you could ever take. So I really
Mm,
don't want to see that. I know that they claim and that, hey, hey, that's what we got all these other studios for. That's what, we've made some of the teams bigger for. You know, we've still got them working on single player story driven content and so on and so forth. But the I don't feel what you told me versus what I saw at the event does not match up. And that's the problem. And like I said, even
Mm.
when Jim specifically with the Famitsu interview was like, the Japan thing, it's super important. I don't care that you tell me it's important. I want to see that it's important. I want to see the games that you invested in specifically, things that wouldn't have happened without PlayStation's investment.
We did see brand new fancy linen. To be fair.
No, I mean, but that's that game. I've been seeing that game for the last 4 years. So yeah, like I need to see. I'm talking about new investments going
Oh, you
forward.
need new investment. Okay, I feel you, but that's not the conversation of what happened with. Let's just switch the topic because this topic needs to be said. It needs to be combined. So it's going to be two topics, three topics together. We should PlayStation showcase. We should PlayStation going. We should the rumor of faction. What happened to faction, and which is this topic. Which I'm gonna combine it in one, and let's just go to the PlayStation showcase. Most of people, if not all people, watched it. And hey, what was your reaction for the showcase?
I mean, like I said, it wasn't good, man. I saw a few games from third party that looked pretty good. A lot of them obviously are multi-platform. Um, it was nice to kind of get the announcement for some things like Metal Gear, which obviously you heard. We were all live in the chat, so we heard our reactions for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
I'm
was a good
excited for that.
surprise, right? Like it
Yeah,
started off.
to finally get that confirmed and also see the collection and so on and so forth. That was great. They confirmed quite a few things. We got to see, like you said earlier, the current state of Grand Blue Fantasy, which is allegedly still slated for this year, so on and so forth. But again, it was just CGI trailers and not a very good first party showing. With the like I said, with the exception of Spider Man, and it was like when they initially set the expectation, they were like, hey, everybody knows the history of PlayStation's their first party, type showcases where they really come out, the devs step on stage kind of thing. They explain it, they go through it. You usually get, a first preview, or even if they just do the CGI, they explain it. Which was another weird thing. That was something they kind of took from Microsoft page, and they should not be taking shit from Microsoft's page, where they show something on stage and then they do something about it later, and they didn't explain it at all on stage, which does honestly a really big disservice to the game. Because I know Morgan was telling me Marathon or something was shown or talked about later in like a 10-minute thing, and it's like you should have kind of had some of this
What?
explanation and stuff. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they had Bungie do like a 10 minute like dev interview about Marathon
Where
after the
was that?
showcase. It was
Yeah,
after the
That was supposed.
showcase.
That should have been in the showcase. Like, what's going on with PlayStation?
that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
we're gonna
Like
talk
they
about it.
like the first impressions are important. Like you need
Yeah.
to like most people left the stage with those games like what the heck was that, because that's part of the problem with the CGI trailer. But usually when they come out and they explain it alongside the trailer and what the concept is, like we have an idea of what we're looking at, and it's like ultimately I was lost. So it's like that was kind of frustrating to see them just kind of adopt this weird, like it was high pace, which we always appreciate, but that's like once we really know what we're looking at, right? Like if you're going to put something on stage that's kind of obscure, like a CGI trailer, and it's the very first showing, like we need to know what's what. Like that's part of the reason why their showcases always had that, like I said, that dev explanation, or speaking about the concept, what they've been working on, what their idea for this game is, so on and so forth. And that kind of that didn't help their case either. So it's
Wasn't
like,
there, eh?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, uh, I gave it that middle of the road because of all the other games that were coming, and some of them do seem to be exclusive, like the Phantom Blade Zero.
It
Um,
so about that.
yeah,
It's
I know,
not
I know,
exclusive.
I
It's
know.
just Microsoft haven't, you know. hit them up and said we want it.
Well,
Which kind of reconfirms what we said that
Uh,
PlayStation isn't out here money hatting everything. Some
no,
developers
it's
just
not. They're
don't
not.
want to make Xbox games like that. They gotta give up the money first, but they ain't trying to hear that. It's fine.
I think it's another case like what happened with Fist, where
well,
they
that's the China
wanted.
Hero project.
Yeah. They wanted. Microsoft never hit them up, and they're open to put it on Xbox. But I'm pretty sure Microsoft wants to put it in Game Pass, and they're like, nope, we're not doing that. Look, so you give it a 6 or a 5, because 5 is the middle.
Yeah, like I said, I gave it like a 5 or whatever. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, I don't know what Garuda's talking about in the chat about someone liking Xbox. I was like, no one in here.
Give me a second, let me read. Oh my, I have to read. These clowns think they have better games than Sony on
I don't know
Xbox. Who?
I don't know what he's talking about. I think he was
Oh,
kind of
wait a
lost in the
second.
chat.
Give me a second, I'm gonna read it, because none of us, none of the people that here are clowns. I have no idea what. So he said, I think Sony in console sales is like 20 times ever the Xbox noob. Japan Stadium and called the Game Live. It's still not fixed. Link said it's still not fixed to some people. He's talking about the Last of Us 1 remake. Shout out to Link. Garuda said, Link Games Sony Square Enix is not Sony. Sony rather work with Square Enix. They'll spend money to make Square Enix lame dev like what did with Ray, what Microsoft did with Rare. Shut the fuck, stop hugging your ex.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't like I said, I think he was lost.
um,
I don't know what happened with him.
I don't see any, I don't see any, what you call it, any
Yeah,
comment
look,
deleted.
Omar. No, nobody knows what Kurt is talking about, so let's move on.
So, I don't know. Dude, get well, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
I know this is genuinely freaking, not freak me out, but I'm like, is he okay?
I don't know what he was listening to while I was talking, but we didn't mention
Precisely,
anything about Xbox.
cause none of
No,
us.
he had it right. It's a bot.
I'm confused. We're gonna move on. So, Morgan,
Mm-hmm.
lady,
Sir.
showcase. How was it for you?
I'm I'm on kind of the same boat as Nate. It was kind of the middle of the road. I gave it a 5. Um, as far as like games shown, there were a lot of games that I plan on getting day one. Phantom Blade Zero, Plucky Squire, of course, the Metal Gear Collection and the Metal Gear remake, Alan Wake 2, Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man 2, of course. And then there was like a couple other indies, that Tower game, and then that Journey game. Trying to think of anything else. No, I think that was pretty much it. So I had like 7 or 8 games that oh, and Helldivers too. I'm interested to play that with you
Absolutely.
guys.
Look really good,
Yeah,
didn't it?
it really looked good. Like it takes a lot for like a multiplayer game to get me interested, because I'm not really a multiplayer type of player, but that game looked really good and I want to play it with you guys. So, but
Yeah.
the third party showing, great, fantastic. But at the end of the day, it's a PlayStation showcase, and I expected, PlayStation to come through and show out. And we got what, 2, maybe 3 games from their first party out of the 25, 30 games that were shown. So that ratio was definitely disappointing. It would have been great for a state of play, but not so much as a PlayStation showcase. Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
showing at the end was fantastic. Of course, that was one of the games that I was, most looking forward to seeing. We finally saw some gameplay. Looks great. Venom, Craven the Hunter, hit the lizard, like all of it. The updated gameplay, updated web swinging, switching between Miles and Peter,
The
like all
black
that.
suit.
Yes, all that's great. Spider-Man 2, but I was never really worried about Spider-Man 2. Insomniac's
Mm.
a great developer, and I trust them completely when it comes to Spider-Man, and I'm sure they're going to be just as fantastic with Wolverine whenever that comes out. But the games that I expected to be there, like I know we're all disappointed that Factions wasn't there. Um, I thought Studio Bend would be there. I didn't know whether or not Sucker Punch would come. I didn't know if that was if it was too early to expect a Ghost of Tsushima 2 kind of teaser trailer thing, but that wasn't there. And Santa Monica, I kind of thought they teased their new game just because Herman had tweeted like last week or 2 weeks ago that he just left Santa Monica and what he saw was great. So I was like, oh, maybe that's going to be at the show. That wasn't. Just a lot of Sony studios, not showing up. But the new ones that were recently purchased, Haven and I think was Firewalk or whatever, were there. But I'm just like, where's the tried and true? Where are the studios that I love at this PlayStation showcase? They were just absent.
Exactly.
It's very surprising, especially, we've been waiting 2 years to hear from PlayStation. They finally said, okay, here you go. Here's a showcase. And, we're all like, yes, we're excited to see updates from.
We were excited, were we not?
Yeah. To see updates from the studios that we love, the studios that are the reason we invest in PlayStation over other platforms, right? The reason PlayStation is our number one platform, right? We wanted to hear from those studios, and we didn't. And I get it. Yeah, I get. Development takes time, and PlayStation doesn't want to show what they don't have ready. But I don't know. I just thought 2 years and with nothing that they have just something to show. Yeah, but it's sad and disappointing. I see a lot of, Twitter conversation online that, oh, well, Sony was holding back and yada yada. I'm just like, listen.
If that's the case, then it makes it even worse.
Listen. This whole Sony holding back shit is, I just feel like that's just damage control because why? What would be the reason to hold back? For what? For what purpose? Like there's no logical reason I can think of that Sony would be like, you know what? We have game trailers for like 4 other games that we can put in this showcase, but we're not gonna do it. No, we're gonna hold that. We're gonna hold these cards close to the chest. For what reason though? Like why?
And
so I just feel like
that's why we talk about competition is important.
Yeah, this is why we need Xbox on their A game, and I hope Xbox does fantastic. I hope that showcase smashes. Okay, and PlayStation just watching it like, damn, they showed up with that first party. Okay, like the games that may not be necessarily for me personally, but they came through. They showed some gameplay. They gave some dates, and they got at least a somewhat of a timeline for the future of Xbox, and I think that's what disappointed me most about the showcase is like I don't know what the future of PlayStation first party looks like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, we do know. We do know. My fucking brainless multiplayer live service
It don't necessarily have to be brainless, but yeah, I'm just like I get what you're saying though, because we got that
Foam Party.
What was it called?
No, it's called Foam Stars. It's Foam Stars. I'm messing with you.
Rip-off.
Yeah.
That Splatoon ripoff from Square Enix. Yeah. That fair game. That fair games.
Is that exclusive? The Foam game?
They better hope not.
I hope also not.
I think it's multiplat. I think that's multiplat. But
the one exclusive is Fair Game.
Yeah, Fair Games, the game from Haven Studio. I mean, what was the date for that? Was that 2024 or did they give a date? I don't remember. But yeah, it's just like I don't know what's 2024 look like for PlayStation first party. Like who's coming, who's releasing, what's 2025 look like? Like I don't need to know, what's coming out. I'm not asking for what's coming out in 3 or 4 years down the line. I just want to know what's coming out next year. which Sony studio is gonna are like am I gonna be looking forward to releasing a game in 2024? I don't think that's too much of a question to ask, especially when we're halfway through 2023 now.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
we've never had to ask that question before.
I've never been
No,
like, oh,
we
I
never.
don't know what's gonna come next year, and that's how I'm feeling. Like I don't know what I have to look for. Like, and like Nate said, we have plenty of games. Like I just, when you asked me what I was playing, I told you, I'm playing Octopath, and I've had plenty of games in the backlog that I need to finish and stuff like that. I'm not worried about not having games to play. Like just sitting there with twiddling my thumbs. Like, damn, 2024, I'm just gonna be chilling. Like I'm not even gonna turn my PlayStation on. Like I'm not saying that, but I really want to know what the exclusives for PlayStation looks like in 2024 because the exclusives of PlayStation is the reason why I invest in PlayStation. If I just
Mm-hmm.
cared about playing multiplats all the time, then I would have just bought an Xbox. Like
Facts.
Oh damn.
Mm-hmm.
no, that's
Shots
not.
fired.
No. That's not disrespect to Xbox's first party. It was just saying like if I didn't care about PlayStation's first party, I could just get an Xbox or a
Exactly. You could
PC or
play either
whatever.
or. Exactly.
I could play multiplats anywhere. But I choose PlayStation over anything else because I care about their first party and I love the first party for the quality and the fun that it brings me. But I'm just like, okay, 2023 for me, it's they've got Final Fantasy. It's not for me, but I know a lot of people like it. And I got Spider-Man. That's for me. I'm very excited to play Spider-Man 2. That's gonna be one of my favorite games that I'm sure I'm gonna love this year. But I'm just like, okay, what can I say is gonna come from Sony in 2024 though? Like, what can I look forward to? I don't know. And I thought this showcase would be my answer to that. Like, okay, here's the roadmap for 2024 and maybe 2025 that you guys can look forward to playing. Here are the games that our first party studios have for you. And I'm not asking for like 5-6 games a year. Like, maybe just two,
Yeah,
three, maybe.
two to three
Like,
was a guarantee from PlayStation before.
yeah. And I'm just like, so what are those like? who's gonna be dropping the game in 2024?
The only
Sony.
thing we might
I
get
need to know.
is what you call it, Wolverine. That might be a
And the thing
2024
is,
game.
and that's not even, we're just guessing based on Insomniac's
Yeah,
track record that it
yeah,
could be 2024, but for all we know that could be 2025, 2026.
yeah,
So it's just like
yeah.
I have no
Oh, the only thing
I
we
have no
know
idea.
is Rise of the Ronin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's like,
That's
yeah,
2024.
yeah, it's exclusive to PlayStation, but it's not
It's
first
not
party. So I'm
first
just
party.
like, who from first party is bringing something in
Oh,
2024?
on that end, yeah, I can't tell you.
Yeah,
I can.
Yeah.
that's why the show for me is a 5 because I'm just like that was that's the main thing
That's
that I
literally
wanted
the
out of the
point
showcase.
of a showcase.
That's the point. Like, what's the future of
Mm-hmm,
PlayStation look like? And I'm just like, I don't know, I don't know,
mm-hmm.
and
Gotcha.
it's disappointing.
Okay, gotcha.
I like
So
your wording there.
normally,
Disappointing, not
oh, go
concerning. We're
ahead.
not there yet, but disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not concerned, but I'm just
Yeah.
kind of disappointed.
Okay. Viper, can you join or no? I'm curious. As for Weeb, I'm actually gonna go first because I wanna set the
Damn,
stage.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. Normally I give it to
poor weeb.
people. I give it for the crew first, but I wanna go first because I wanna set something. You guys are being way too nice with this, and
Oh damn.
I said it during the the live reaction. I'm gonna say it right here. You guys are looking at it from a showcase. You need to look at it from them being silent for 2 years and then showing this,
I
whatever
mean, I am
the
looking at
fuck
it like that.
this.
Almost 2 years,
So with
Sir,
by
I
the way.
said that.
everything you saw, you think that a 5 is fair?
I mean, I
I
told
said based on
Omar,
again
the
though.
showcase.
so can we skip your opinion now and go to me?
No, I was like,
Wow.
I said that I walked away with knowing that I was getting like at least 7 of those games day one. Like I saw games I wanted to play, so I can't give them like a 2 or a 3 because were
Okay.
games on there that I wanted to play.
Okay. Based on PlayStation movement, based on how they're reacting, this show is a 3, and I'm being generous.
Oh man,
Look, games to play, I have games up to a 2. That's not it. I want the old PlayStation back. I was never a fan of this whole multiplayer bullshit,
are you
and
gonna have to get
some
over that,
people
sir?
all people kept telling me was it's an option. PlayStation needs to make money and it's not gonna impact single player. And the stupid person that I am, I actually believed Herman Holt when he came out and said that single player is important for him and all that jazz. And look where it got us.
Wait, hold up. I gotta put a pause on that. Hold up. Now, how you know that multiplayer is affecting single player?
Um, if not for multiplayer game, we would have had single player reveals.
You
How
don't
is
know
that
that.
so? How is that
Haven wasn't making a single player game, so that's not. How does that impact? How does that impact
maybe?
studios like Bend? How does what Haven makes impact Bend?
No, no, no. Instead of all these multiplayer reveals, we would have single player reveals for PlayStation. Every single
Again, that doesn't make sense though, Omar. Because
PlayStation was never that focused on live service games like that in the past.
true, but their single player games, as we know, are costing more and millions, and they have to find a way to fund that, especially if one of their biggest cash cows, Call of Duty, is about to be taken away. So they have to
They
find
did it
something
with
to
they did it
fund.
with they put the games on PC. They chose not to
That's not
put it
making
day
enough.
one.
That's not
Like
making enough.
you do you. That's on them
So let me ask: would you rather them put PlayStation games day one in order to compensate for that, or would you rather them make live service games?
then. The first one.
You
So
rather than
then
put
I
PC
at least
games on
so
PC day
then I
one?
at least yeah, because
Ooh.
then one at least I would go to PC. That's number one, and number two I would still get my
Sir,
single
you
player
still on this
game.
laptop talking about you about to go to PC? Boy, hush. No, you're
No, no,
not.
no, no. I want some guy. Listen, before my engagement, I was literally
But-
about to pull the trigger
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
4080 or something.
Oh,
I
4080.
forgot.
Okay.
I forgot what.
Yes, it was a 4080.
It was a
Okay.
4080. Like I went from buying the was about to buy the bed to invest that money in the future. So that's something that's just life.
Oh man. So you say
I
you would just
couldn't.
leave
Yeah.
PlayStation like that? You just go straight to PC? Oh
But my
damn.
focus is
Mhm.
I truly believe PlayStation are growing up with this one.
Mm,
This is not the PlayStation that I'm used to,
mm-hmm.
and to the point where I question if this current regime, is the right regime for PlayStation.
You say y'all ain't looking like the right fit.
So
Yeah, that's what
are you on the side of Fire Jim Ryan and Herman Holst, or are you just kind of like you still on the
um
fence?
to the point I'm starting to debate whether they both of them are suitable for PlayStation.
Damn. So
At
one
least
fuck up and then you telling these niggas to get out?
it's not one fuck up though. It's not one
I
fuck
thought
up.
the launch was
You
pretty
guys,
good. Was it
you
not?
are focusing on a show. I'm
Mm-hmm.
focusing on the movement as a
Mm.
whole.
Oh, okay.
That's
My
the
bad. Okay.
difference.
But
Okay.
you're still basing this all on how you feel about the show, though.
Yeah, because like if the show was great, we
No,
wouldn't be having this
no,
conversation.
no. I'm basing it on how PlayStation be moving.
Okay. Well, what's the other issues that you're talking about? You said they've been moving like this. So what are the other issues that
The other
PlayStation has?
one, they close studios, yet they keep buying one more. Two, the buyout of Bungie. I truly believe Bungie is one of the worst pickup for PlayStation.
Oh my God. Okay.
I wholeheartedly believe that. Why? Because they just caused PlayStation to shut faction. I mean,
But what if
the
Factions was
rumor
fucked
is
up?
Bungie went to look for what you call it,
Factions. Mm-hmm. They went to Naughty
uh,
Dog. Yeah.
Naughty Dog are working on, and apparently what they saw is not good enough to keep people entertained for a long period of time. Or here is the kicker: maybe what they saw wasn't just something that's not gonna generate a lot of money. because you're not gonna put microtransaction in it. And they're like, oh no,
I
we can't
mean,
have that.
if Factions is a live service game and it's not doing what a live service game is supposed to do, is it not Bungie's job to tell them that? Like, it's not good?
But
Well,
that's why I'm trying to explain. This was never the case with PlayStation previously. They
I
were
mean,
never
PlayStation previously,
fixated on multiplayer games like that.
but they never made live service games before, so it's not the
Yeah,
same.
no, they have. They have done quite a few.
And what are
Just
they?
they never focused on them.
What live service games have PlayStation made, Omar?
Mm, good stuff. Games. Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo.
Hold on.
No, no, no. Gran Turismo is one.
Okay, yeah, that's a car game. That's different, but okay.
Gran Turismo is one. Uncharted had one. Uncharted
It's
that's
4.
it's
no,
multiplayer.
no,
That's
no,
not live
no,
That's
service.
not
no.
live service though.
Multiplayer and live service are two different things, Omar.
Oh yeah, that's right. What was other game?
See, that's what I
Let's
mean.
see.
They've never really had a task like this. This is why I'm saying maybe Bungie came in is like it's a good multiplayer game, but it's not necessarily a good live service game. And that's I feel like people are kind of looking at it in like kind of the doom and gloom sense, and it could be doom and gloom. You know, we don't really necessarily know what they said and what they saw, but it could just be like they looked at it and like it's a good multiplayer, but if you want to have like a game that lasts a long time and keeps people engaged in it and brings community continually and make sure the servers are always full, you're going to need to add this or cut this and do this, like maybe because Naughty Dog has been talking a lot about how ambitious this new Factions game is.
Mhm.
And when I think of Naughty Dog, we all think of like quality, right? And maybe they just did a little too much with the multiplayer, and Bungie saw it and was like, "This is good, but if you're going to continuously like add seasons and add like stuff like that, it might take too long to continuously add to a base game that's this like packed with things." And they kind of maybe like you need to trim it down a little bit, or you need to add this and that. Like I'm not necessarily, I don't think they came in and was like scrap it, throw it in the trash. Like I just feel like they probably saw it and was like, okay, you need to tweak this and that. What you have here is, like I said, a good multiplayer, but not necessarily a good live service game. That's what Factions was. It was a great multiplayer game, but you have to transition that over to what a live service is, and that's a completely different beast.
Yeah,
I Go
I
ahead.
think that it definitely, or definitely, but I have a feeling that yeah, this is on Naughty Dog that they were overly ambitious with it. That instead of
Mm-hmm.
just what they should have done is just okay, Factions wasn't there on time for The Last of Us Part Two. Fine, do what Ghost of Tsushima did, right? Release it as a free update, a half a year later, whatever. Uh, just do an updated version of Factions, and that's it. And but they wanted to make an expansive standalone multiplayer. Probably indeed were trying to make it like a games as a service thing. And sure, probably Sony might been pushing them towards that because that's what they saw the potential there. But
Mm-hmm.
I'd say in the end they decide to go that direction, and you have a studio that you purposely purchase for their expertise in live service games. And yeah, why wouldn't you use that studio? And the thing is, like you said, Morgan, uh, they didn't know if Call of Duty would still be a thing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I've said that before. They know they can make a competitor. They can buy a competitor of Call of Duty. So what they're doing is they're buying these smaller, well, smaller, but at least like Destiny is not on the level of Call of Duty, but it is a popular you know
Mm-hmm.
live service game. So if you have that and you have a few
I
others, and
would
there's a few others,
agree with
then you have
you if.
then you have
Let him
leverage.
finish. God, Omar.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry,
Yeah,
go
it's so
ahead.
impatient. Yeah, yeah. Couldn't even give my opinion on the showcase because he couldn't stop talking.
Oh damn, go ahead.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, like I said, I think the entire purchase of Bungie was a strategic one. It wasn't necessarily to get great games, but more getting their expertise. And yeah, look, I agree with you. I don't give a shit about live service games, and I'm also cautious about the fact that yeah, it's all nice to try to argue that oh yeah, we're still gonna get single player games or it's not gonna come with expensive single player games, but there's always a risk because you can only spend money once. That money is going towards multiplayer games, and if those
Hmm.
games fail, the single player games will feel that too because they have to recover those costs somewhere.
Hmm.
And that
Yeah,
might
about
mean
that,
yeah,
there's a rumor that, not a rumor, apparently PlayStation had laid off people.
Yeah, the visual
PlayStation
arts.
Visual Art Studio was hit by layoff, likely related to Last of Us faction. So there is that. We already seen
yeah,
it.
yeah, but related to the Last was yeah okay but that could be because of the game itself that they're cutting because they said they're reducing the size of that team so which is the
Hmm.
indication that maybe it's going to be canceled soon. So, or I don't know if that's actually the message here, or maybe they're gonna scale back the scope. The thing is, like they put themselves in a pretty much an impossible position because at this point, if they're gonna cancel, people are gonna riot. If they're gonna reduce the scope, people gonna like what the fuck? Why did we wait this long? Like it's gonna be Crackdown
Hmm
3 all over again.
Oh man, not cry. Don't say that.
Damn if you do,
Right
damn if
now.
you don't situation.
Oh man, we're
Yeah,
about to have a scale down situation.
exactly. But yeah. But Omar, can I talk about my impressions of the showcase now, or are you still not
No,
done?
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I'll probably give it a 6, because I feel you, but like I didn't go in there with like the expectations that GTA 6 would be shown or Half-Life Alyx would come to VR. I mean, people are always setting themselves up for failure like that. And while I got you that it's been 2 years, uh, objectively looking at it, like they don't owe you anything. They don't owe you, a super
Nah.
duper show,
Okay, go ahead.
because I haven't done one in 2 years. That being said, I like some of the like Spider-Man gameplay was fantastic. Getting Metal Gear Solid 3 remake and the collection, that's absolutely as a fan great for me. Saw some interesting indie, but overall, yeah, the focus on live service games and a lot of CG trailers, yeah, it wasn't doing it for me. And I agree that especially if they actually held back, which is a stupid thing to do, they shouldn't have done that. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, in the end, it wasn't a great showcase because the problem is I know they want to push these live service games, but they're forgetting their audience. They're forgetting who they're doing this for because the
Yes.
people who
Yes.
play Call of Duty and yes, there are PlayStation fans who play Call of Duty, but they're not watching a showcase like that. They're not interested who only play those kind of games are not interested in those showcases. Who
Exactly.
feel great like Spider-Man 2 gameplay, etc. That's for the hardcore fans. That's for us, and they didn't cater to us. And yeah, they're getting called out for this. So hopefully they learn from this, and they better make up for this. They're not gonna get away with not doing
I
another
hope they
showcase.
learn from this because PlayStation fans truly let them know they're not happy.
Yeah, yeah, and at least that's the only thing that I've noticed that they're a little more receptive of that than they used to be.
Hmm.
So I do have a feeling that they might step up either with the Summerfest or whatever, or have another showcase. But yeah, like I said, Morgan, that didn't feel like a showcase. It felt like a state of play, and they should
Like
have just done
Okay.
that.
like I said, just a big state of play.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um. Shout out.
basically.
Shout out to Prince. He put out a very great tweet that said the follow. I have thoughts on Sony push for gas and about whether it's a wise move. I think it's not. Broadly speaking, the gold rush has happened, and trying to break into the space is just too goddamn hard now. Everyone is chasing after the same customers.
Exactly.
but most
Mhm.
are locked into their games. So basically, what he's saying,
Yep.
if PlayStation make a live service game, it's not gonna have people go jump from Fortnite to, like for example, a Horizon Zero Dawn live service game. It's not gonna make people play it over Fortnite. It's just not.
Nope.
Um, so um, I agree with everything he said, and he also said something about Bungie. While I look it up, what your thoughts on his statement?
I mean,
I
we
mean,
we pretty much all agreed. Morgan said it multiple times.
yeah. Yeah, like that's kind of what I said. Like, I was talking to Nate earlier today, and I was just like, the thing about live service games is like, everybody who plays those type of games are already like in their set game, in their set community. So to like try to take somebody from like Apex or Overwatch or Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever live service game is going to be extremely hard because these people
So
are already in their niche, they're already in their community, and they have their friends and they have the type of maps and type of games that they like to play. So trying to pull from that community, that set community, is extremely hard. To like, you have to make some kind of breakout game that's gonna like have people talking, and it's like, and that's why PlayStation is like investing into what, like 15 or something live service
Yeah,
games that they said they're making,
because you got to
because
throw it out
they
and see what sticks.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They understand the whole mentality, like, you gotta throw, see, as much shit at the wall as possible and see what sticks, because live service, it's not the same where they've kind of mastered the single player narrative driven type of game. They've got that down to a T, but like I said, live service is a different type of beast, and trying to get those type of consumers and type of gamers into your platform and onto
ecosystem.
your, exactly, in your ecosystem on those servers, and to not only just get them over there but to keep them over there, because many people will go and try a new live service, but then they leave, like we were talking about last week with the vampire game that got shut down,
Yeah.
the masquerade or whatever, after a year. Like, people try it, and if it's not hitting, then your game will immediately die. And I'm feeling most of the games that PlayStation live service games are going to end up just like that. Like,
Mhm.
people tried it, it wasn't for them, or the content wasn't there, or it's a copy and paste of a different game but like the weaker version, and people are just gonna be like, this ain't it, and leave, and then that game's gonna get shut down. So it's like they're trying to make as many as possible to see which one is gonna be the hit one. And it's just like, and that's why that's where I agree with Weeb. It's just like, where that that those games failing could have repercussions to the single player
Exactly.
games. If those games aren't hitting and making money, and they have to close it down, and they've wasted multiple millions of dollars on all these games, that's where at the end of the day it could come at a cost to the games we love. And that's why I'm just like, they need to, I guess, that's why, like we've said, was the most important thing for them to invest, at least for PlayStation, to invest in Bungie. And that's why they spent all that money, and why employee retention was like, what, $1 or $2 billion they spent to keep the employees over at Bungie, because that's what they want from them. They want those employees who know how to make live service games. They want their expertise, and that's why they have them going around to all these studios. Because I'm sure they went to Haven too, and I guess it, passed the test, and they were like, okay, Haven's good, so let's show that off at the showcase. And then they went to Naughty Dog, and I guess it didn't pass the test, and that's why they got, like I said, Bungie going around making sure these games are at least somewhat acceptable to be live service, and has that quote unquote, that gotcha, the thing, that the hook that keeps people into these popular live service games. And that's just PlayStation's strategy right now. And I guess we'll see at the end of it, at the end of this generation, if it worked out in their favor or not. But yeah.
Mhm. Gotcha. Weep.
I just went already.
Okay. No, 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 no. About this. So
Oh,
you think? Okay. So this is. You feel the same topic. Okay. So then let me ask this one.
Viper's here.
Uh, he said, Prince, I was wrong. He thought that marathon is PlayStation only. He said Bungie are putting stuff on Xbox, which is cool. Glad that's the case. But from Sony's perspective, what does the purchase of Bungie do for them? Are they just here to shut down games from other studios? Which is basically what they did with. I bet you. So here is my. This is a tinfoil hat theory. I believe Twisted Metal is gone. I believe what you call it, Bungie shut them down too. I believe uh, they had a hand in shutting down in the way that deviation game moved, how they changed their move, their game, their how they fired people because of what happened to the game. I think Bungie did something for that in sense of they went in, checked it, and thought it's not up to snuff. If that's the case,
I mean,
then
potentially, but we're just spitballing here at that point. Like,
so is that a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think?
I mean, that's
It's hard
speculation.
to, from our perspective, we don't really know what, Deviation Games was working on and what it looked like. It's hard to tell, but, we, it's like I said, we as gamers, we always have the what if kind of moment. And it makes me think, situations like a game like Redfall, right? If
That
let's
shit
say
needed to be killed,
that's
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like, what if like an alternate reality that Xbox had repurchased Bungie, and then Bungie came in and told Arcane like that's not a good game, and let's say we never like it was a deviation situation where we never saw the game and we never knew it was coming, and we would be mad like, oh my god, we could have had this game. But it's just like, what if the deviation game was a Redfall situation, like,
It needed to be canceled. Yeah.
and it needed to be canceled, and it needed not to see the light of day, and it would have made gamers pissed that this was the game that was $70. This was the game that just the studio wasted their time on, and it's like,
But
we
I
may
have a
never know.
question for you. How the fuck did PlayStation then miss that? PlayStation is not new on the block. PlayStation knows what games to make and how to make them, but
True, but
is
like I
single
said,
player
life service
different
games
from
though are
live service?
different.
A live
Yeah, live
service is
service games
different.
are different. You can't come in there and be like, okay, the narrative is good. Okay, the gameplay feels nice. Okay, the characters are interesting. All right, after years of making single player games, they know what a good single player game looks like, right? But they don't necessarily know, they don't have the expertise or the experience to know like what not only what a live service game does to, like I said, bring the people in, but keep them. That's the most important thing about a live service game is keeping the player base, keeping people interested, always updating, adding expansions, seasons, skins, maps. You have to keep your player base in the thing, because if you don't keep them, somebody else is going to take them. Another game is going to be there to be like, hey, they didn't update their season, but hey, if you want some good gunplay, come over here, right? So it's like, that's the thing. And it's like Sony can't just look at a game, especially, one that's just in the development stage, and be like, oh yeah, that's the game that's going to keep them here for 5 years. Like, they don't know. And so that's why, like I said, they're leaning on Bungie, because Bungie's not perfect when it comes to live service games. They've had a lot of fans upset with their updates of their games and for
Yeah,
not doing certain things, but they still, regardless, they still have a lot more experience than PlayStation does. And so PlayStation is leaning on their expertise and be like, you guys are the vets when it comes to live service. Can you look at our games and the games that we have our studios making, and let us know if they at least have like the skeleton down for what makes a good live service game. And I think that's what they're doing. They're going around and be like, yeah, that's it. Oh no, that's not good. You gotta change this and this. And that's kind of Bungie's kind of thing, while they're working on their multi-plat games at the same time. So
okay, gotcha. Weep.
Okay.
Okay, I
Dude,
thought so. Um,
ask Viper.
but
I'm here.
Yeah, Viper's here, just so you
oh,
know.
I didn't. I'm gonna go to Viper soon then. And
Yeah, I mean, Morgan kind of said it all. I mean,
okay, so
we've
then
talked.
let
I
me
mean,
read
we've talked
something
about
for
that.
you. Yeah,
Oh no, but what I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say was something that Broken was talking about because he keeps getting on this rant, which I pulled it up on the screen so you can see where he's saying that PlayStation fans are afraid of multiplayer and this, that, and the third, and if you're afraid of it, you probably suck at it and all that. Number one, motherfucker, I don't suck, and BG is the homie. I love BG. He's fucking funny, but I don't
Yeah.
suck. I'll be slaying in these multiplayer games, but no, it's not about being afraid of PlayStation investing in multiplayer. It's about them wasting a shit ton of money, time, and development, and all this talent in trying to hope they have a good thing rather than knowing they have a good thing. If you have something
Exactly.
good and you go with it the same way, Horizon, right? They didn't guess they had a good thing. They had a meeting about the shit. They talked about it. They threw five things on the table and they said that is it. And that's how Horizon Zero Dawn came to be. So people know when
Mhm.
you have a good thing, right? Let's not act silly here, right? Part of the problem with Xbox right now is they don't know when they have a good thing. They keep putting out bad things because of that. With Redfall and so on and so forth, thinking Redfall was going to score an 80 plus. I don't know who evaluated that bullshit, but that's
And they keep
what I'm saying.
turning down good ideas. They keep turning
Exactly.
down good ideas.
They keep turning down good
I'm gonna
IPs.
flip it for
They
you.
they keep they keep passing on all these great things. So it's like, no, it's not that we're afraid of it, right? And I agree with him. Uncharted 2 and The Last of Us were two of the best multiplayers I played, right? But to say that, oh, they became, he's already speculating, they became too ambitious trying to include a co-op, because PlayStation fans don't want pure PvP. And it's like, no, maybe their vision didn't want pure PvP. I was like, personally, I love the co-op mode in Gears of War. The like, just because a bunch of people ain't running around talking about it and they running around wall banging, yelling in fucking parties and shit, I don't care. I had a blast with that shit. So it is important. If that's their vision, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's like at the same time where someone like him really wants multiplayer, it's like, no, I don't want 100 studios out here, developing a bunch of trash, hoping that one game hits, because that's a big ass waste of time, and that is going to cost us single player opportunities, and that's going to cause things to have to be scaled back because PlayStation investing in a ton of these just to try to get one to hit is going to be an issue. And if you think it's not, then you don't know how business works. That's my issue with all
Mm.
of it. So it's not about being afraid. Ain't nobody afraid of multiplayer. I done played plenty multiplayer. I just don't want them trying to mimic what a bunch of the industry has already done. The same way Prince said it, the same way, like I said, me and Morgan had the conversation. You cannot chase an entirely saturated market and hope you're going to pull 50 to 60% of them. It's not going to happen.
Mhm.
Most people who play
Oh,
Fortnite don't play Apex and crossover and so on and so forth. Everybody's got their game for a reason.
so
Overwatch
so
and the
do you
same. Good.
so do you think? So I'm gonna go then to the bulk of this problem, which is the ABK deal. Do you think the ABK deal is hurting him so much to the point where they literally have to shift uh, playtime almost like not playtime but like what you call it not development uh, vision, a different vision. Do you
You
think they
mean are they
have?
pushing harder than they normally would because of the ABK deal?
Yeah, yeah, because this is not the
Absolutely.
PlayStation that we remember.
Absolutely. It's a factor. I mean, it has to be. Call of Duty is massive for them. And,
Hmm.
them saying
If it's
Call of
massive,
Duty,
then how they gonna
them saying
do it?
Call of Duty's not going anywhere for the foreseeable future is irrelevant because PlayStation's future is supposed to be forever. Like they're looking at
Mhm.
forever, not 10 years. Like I know people think
Hmm.
10 years is like, "Oh man, that's so long." And it's like, say, we finish up, we're mid-gen and the next Call of Duty's looking amazing and they rip it off.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, you want to talk about mass appeal? That is the kind of mass appeal Call of Duty has. Like I've explained to y'all, my friend, he wants the Xbox Series X. He's comes to my house all the time. He's seen a PlayStation, he's seen PC, he's seen all that. It doesn't matter to him. You know what he wants to play? He wants to play NBA 2K and Call of Duty. He does not care. And maybe GTA. So those are just what he plays. That it's in my free time. I play this, and this. You know what I mean? He might play something else here and there. I talked to him about Game Pass and explained him how that works, and he's interested in that kind of. But that's what I'm saying. This is where the casuals are and stuff like that, and it's super important because it's still part of you. Everybody, something that used to be everywhere, that is as popular as something like that or GTA and stuff, is that important. Like I said, when people joked about GTA 6 being exclusive or something like that, GTA 6 being exclusive on PlayStation for a year, this generation would be over. That's how devastating something like that is. And if you
Yeah.
started that, go ahead, Morgan.
No, I was just agreeing. Like that would be a phenomenon. Like the shift, the amount of PS5s that will fly off the shelf simply because GTA 6 was exclusive. Oh my god! Like they'd probably get a good, they'd probably get another 30,
mean,
40 million PlayStations just because
Absolutely.
of that.
Absolutely.
they got Final Fantasy 16 exclusive.
No, I mean
They do, but I'm
that's
talking about
big,
like
but
a
it's not like
mass
that.
appeal game. I'm talking about like GTA
Yeah,
6,
yeah, yeah.
the
But
mass appeal of that IP.
This is big, so.
No, we're not saying it's not. We're saying it's not GTA big.
I know.
That like there's a my mom knows what GTA is. My mom
Okay, fair point.
only barely knows what Final Fantasy is because I'm her child, and that's different. But but yeah, like if I said Grand Theft Auto, my mom immediately knows what that is. She not only knows of it, she knows what it is. That's how you know how big something is, right?
Okay.
When your parents, people who are completely out
Yeah,
of
my
the
mom
know,
knows what GTA is.
exactly. Your mom would immediately, oh, that violent game. You playing that
Yeah.
violent game, huh? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
She
Me
might
and
know.
my used to have
Listen,
to sneak to play because it was rated in for
exactly.
mature, and she hated that.
Exactly. She
She always
goes,
walk in
yeah.
when I was in the strip club.
Oh, see,
Huh?
yeah. That part when people always walk in when you're on the worst part, like it's
The
like,
worst part.
Oh
What is
damn.
on the screen? Huh? What?
yeah. That's like me watching anime. I swear, it's always on the one part, and I'm like,
Oh damn.
yeah. Let me explain. Let me just explain. It's
Like,
not what it looks like.
nah.
How to explain something anime moment?
Yeah, like.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
man.
It's okay.
But yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like that is the kind of shift. Now, yeah, GTA is even above Call of Duty. Like, don't get me wrong. Like GTA is, you can't get more mass appeal than GTA, right? Now, the GTA of multiplayer games right now, whether people like it or not, is essentially Fortnite. Everybody and their grandmother plays it, or has played it, or has tried it. It's the most pervasive one. It's everybody knows of it, whether you play it or not. Like the other one you hear about is Apex, but I guarantee you, Apex's player count is probably half of Fortnite, and it's still big. So I'm not saying that you can't, but it's like where do you fit in when those two take up that much of part of a market, and then you also got to contend with GTA Online and the new GTA, and then
especially
the
after
battlefields
Lemonhouse
and stuff.
said that we're not trying to recreate Fortnite. So then, what are you trying to create?
No, they absolutely want that, and they're lying. They're lying. They're lying to you.
No, we
Yeah,
don't
I
want a
not believe they're
Fortnite.
lying.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely fucking lying. Because that you wouldn't be throwing 10 to 15 things and seeing what sticks if you didn't want that. Because you're looking for that go to indispensable multiplayer game. And I'm not saying they couldn't have got it honestly, because look, that's why I said like I'm gonna explain the issue with multiplayer, right? And this is the thing. Again, me and Morgan were talking about this. The amount of teams, the amount of people and development costs and stuff it takes to support these games is on an unprecedented level, right? And we even talked about it with Valhalla, right? You know how many people worked on Valhalla? Like 3 grand. Like that's a lot of people, dude. Think about all the studios that PlayStation has, being 200 people, 300 people, even 500 people is huge for PlayStation, right? When you've got 3,000 plus people all essentially working on Assassin's Creed right now at Ubisoft.
That's
That
crazy.
Yeah, that is the kind of support you need though. Think about it. Epic, if you're not working on the Unreal Engine, you are developing something for Fortnite working at Epic. That's all they're doing. 90% of the time, that's all they're doing. That is what it takes to have 15 different things going on while you have your battle pass, while you have your events, while you have a concert, while you invite Travis Scott, while you see what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, you might not love it. Hell, you probably don't even know half of what I was just talking about, Karaba, but
Yeah, I don't know who
you're
Travis
not
Scott
the
is, so
target,
there's
right?
that.
You're not the target, but you know who was? My freaking nieces and nephews were freaking out. And they were like, "Are you gonna get on the game with me? Are you gonna we're gonna play the game?" And then the thing is this concert, and it's like, oh my god. And I was like, holy shit. Like, and they're so excited. And their ages like 8 to 15. That's a huge gap. And then you still have people in my demographic that are still playing it. Anywhere from 20 to 40. That's
You
a
played it
huge gap.
yourself.
I played it myself. It's on my screen right now. But I played.
Yeah.
But I played the concert. I played the things with them. I jumped in with them. All the different things. Now ultimately nothing they can do can get Morgan in because they had Attack on Titan, and she was still like ooh, and then she was like nope. So like some people you just ain't never gonna get, but. Attack on Titan is huge. Imagine, I'm surprised they haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's coming. There's probably going to be a Demon Slayer crossover. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Because that's
surprised
huge.
there is no One Piece.
Yeah, there was a Star Wars
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Spider
There's
Man. Like
Naruto.
Yeah,
there is
Naruto.
they had freaking.
there is
They had Aloy in there at one point,
Ichigo, I
right?
think.
Yeah, they had Aloy. They had
Gothic,
Master
Kratos.
Chief. Yeah, like you
Kratos.
can name literally everything in pop
This is-
culture,
I-
basically. Ariana
yeah,
freaking
Mhm.
Grande
I
was
think-
in the damn
Dragon
game,
Ball
bro.
Z.
Like,
Yeah, Dragon Ball. Yeah, I think Fortnite is the only game where every single character from the big. I don't know if they have Nintendo characters, but they
not yet.
absolutely have PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And it's crazy that PlayStation side on to that.
yeah,
Like,
but
that's crazy.
that's how big
Oh,
it
absolutely.
is. And again, Fortnite is
That's money
big
for them.
source of revenue. Exactly. It's a big source of revenue for them. And you bring your own character, guess what? We'll give you an increased cut. Whenever somebody buys the Kratos pack, we'll give you an increased
That's
cut.
PlayStation money. They
Yes.
said, hell yeah, as big as your game is. Oh yeah, we'll put that on there. We'll put Kratos on there. We'll give you Aloy.
Exactly.
You want anybody else?
Yeah, you wanna play that's why Kratos and Aloy both on there, just like you said.
Uh-huh.
And it's just
Absolutely.
but like I said, think about the amount of people that are supporting that constantly to get that to the level that it's at, right? Like
Paying for
Morgan,
those skins.
yeah, Morgan doesn't even like the game, but Morgan understands like when we're talking about it, she's like, damn, like the amount of stuff they're having, like this is crazy. They got another event and they got this event, and Morgan still hears about it and she doesn't even play
Yeah, I'm
it.
like, damn, they got another season already. I'm like, didn't they just have the last one? Like,
Yeah,
yo, Fortnite, it gets crazy
they-
support.
Yeah,
Like,
they got a season to go with the
that's what
next season.
I applaud Epic for the amount of support they give Fortnite. I might not be a fan of it, but they support the hell out of Fortnite. It gets constant updates, constant, skins. Like it does what it needs to do to stay relevant and keep the player base happy. So I'm like, you know what? Good on you, Epic.
Exactly.
Shouldn't have PlayStation bought up Epic then? Or they can.
I don't know if they can afford
yeah,
that.
I
And
don't know
they,
if they
they
can afford
own
that.
and
They own a
the
large part of
Unreal
it.
Engine. So I mean, like I don't know if they could buy it based on them owning Unreal Engine. I don't know if that would be like a what do you call it? Shit, I can't think of the right
Monopoly?
word.
Well, like a conflict of interest.
Conflict of
Yeah,
interest.
conflict
Yeah.
of interest. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because they would
I
own the
got you.
Unreal
I
Engine at
got
that
you.
point.
Yeah, you gotta be
Yeah.
careful with stuff like that. That's kind of what Nvidia ran into when they got blocked. Was it's like they were
But
in
that's not what
AI and
Microsoft
stuff.
is doing though.
I
Shouldn't
mean,
that be conflict of interest?
essentially, but like the problem is, like I said, that you're talking about regulators who are not in the business, right? So they're only looking at their area and then they're going, how big of an impact would this have, right? And essentially the problem that I told you is what they stated is the real problem. They go, Microsoft has no they have no incentive to remove Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But that's
They
not
believe
that's
that.
not that's not true, but that's what they're saying that they think they believe. But we all know there's a massive incentive, and that's a huge increase in people coming over to your platform to play Call of Duty. Now, no, it's not going to be as big as say if it was PlayStation exclusive because their games are available on PC, right? So you've seen the investment that a lot of people have had on PC lately. A ton of people investing in PC for the first time. You know, I mean, shoot, you saw Persona and Bari. You know, they got PCs not too long ago. Bari already
I was gonna buy one.
talking about, yeah, you were gonna buy one. Bari was talking about, can a 4090 fit in here? Like he already talking about upgrades and he just bought it. Like, but that's what I'm saying. So that's why you wouldn't see such a crazy thing. But what you would see is that revenue would be exclusively to them, and then any other IP and stuff that's going on with them, Diablo and all that stuff going forward, would also be exclusive to them, including World of Warcraft revenue, including, uh, you know, none of us play it, but Candy Crush, you know, so on and so forth.
My
Like
mom plays
it's
the hell out of
massive.
some damn Candy Crush.
And there you
My
go.
mom too. My
So
mom too.
Yeah, I think it's really a boomer game, to be honest. Like,
no, it
boomers love
definitely
the
is.
hell out of some damn Candy Crush.
They do, and they still playing it, which is crazy because I thought that game was done,
Yeah, my
and
mom play it as
they
well.
still
I
playing
play
it.
it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's how pervasive that particular company is. So you've got a ton of the casual market in consoles and PC and so on and so forth, and including Call of Duty Mobile, which is one of the biggest games. Then you've also got Candy Crush. Then you've also got Diablo, which is huge on the PC side, and World of Warcraft on the MMO side. And I know we don't particularly all love them here, and we barely kind of touch some of their games. But just to think, me and We've just bought, you know, Diablo. You know what I'm saying? So what about Diablo 5? Now I'm not saying that none of this is going to affect you in the next 4 to 5 years, right? It's the next generation.
It's
Microsoft
the next
again is
Yeah,
generation.
playing.
that's what I think. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna play it cool. They're gonna keep if they get it, if they end up getting Activision, they're gonna play it cool for like this generation.
Mm-hmm.
Keep everything multi-plat. They ain't go stir no waves or nothing. They're gonna be like, okay, yeah, we'll keep it multi-plat. Call of Duty will stay on PlayStation for now. Diablo for now. Overwatch for now, and then boom, Xbox Series LPX, whatever the fuck they decided to name that shit,
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty exclusive. The first, that's going to be like the first game they announced. I'm just going to laugh because I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, we saw this coming. Here it goes.
Exactly.
But when that
Everything's
happens,
exclusive
when
now.
that happen, can't the regulators not go back and say, okay,
No.
now that you're done?
A lot of them don't have that in
especially if they
place.
don't. I'm about to say,
Go
especially if they don't
Valentine's
have
Day.
those.
Go ahead, Morgan.
No, you're fine. I'm sorry. Especially if they don't have those like contentions in place, like where you need to keep this multiplat, or they tell them they only have to keep it multiplat for a certain set of years. Like then they're free to do whatever the hell they want. And I feel like that's what's gonna happen. They're just gonna be like, yeah, yeah. So we kept it multiplat for X number of years, like we said. We kept it multi-plat for about 5 years, but we think it's a good time for Xbox to just take these and use these games for our platform and Game Pass, and it's going to be some whole speech or something, and it's going to be a Game Pass game at that point,
man. It's gonna be me.
and that's like I said, that's really, like I said, is a driving factor.
They're gonna
For
move needles, yeah? They're gonna move
yeah, oh,
consoles.
definitely.
Absolutely.
And it's a driving factor for why PlayStation is pushing live service games so hard. I mean, and because they started that with the generation, because we didn't know about Activision until what, 2021 or something like that Microsoft was purchasing them. But
they knew.
best believe PlayStation was very aware of Xbox's intentions. Like, this, the business community of gaming, they talk, they hear things, they have their ears out to the streets of what their competitors are doing, and they absolutely knew Xbox was going to make a move on Activision, and so they're like, shit, we got to do something. It's like, Jim, you get the lawyers, you guys handle the regulators and try to get this thing to not go through, but but we have to plan for the worst to come. If they take this game, Call of Duty and Overwatch and these big live service games where we get a huge chunk of our money from that helps support the first party content that we put on here, we're going to have to do something. We're going to have a fallback. We're going to have something that makes up for the massive loss of Call of Duty. And so then that's where this push for all these live service games is coming from, because they have to make up for this loss that that they feel is going to come, because like I said, Call of Duty is going to be stay multi-plat for a while, but I have a feeling like eventually Xbox is going to take that off, and
Oh, yeah,
PlayStation is
for
going to be
sure.
sitting there left with fumbling, like, okay, well, what do we do now? So they're just making up a backup plan. They're planning for the worst right now. So
Mm.
Yeah, and keep in mind,
Oh shit.
everybody says, "Oh, why don't you just make a competitor?" And yet everyone's been trying to do that for the past 20 years. And where is
everybody.
where is Call of Duty? Exactly where the fuck it's been the entire time, on
Mm-hmm.
top. In its
Mm-hmm.
worst year, it was still the only reason it wasn't the best-selling game in its worst year is because GTA probably came out. That's about it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like Battlefield tried. It probably was the closest, and it still hasn't ever surpassed Call of Duty.
Yeah, probably
So
not
it's
even
just
half.
like not even half. So it's like trying to tell people like, oh, make your own. You can do it. Like, excuse me, like it's just that easy just to make a Call of Duty competitor. Like, I don't,
Yeah, and
it
people
is
talk
what it
about the
is.
lack of multiplayer from PlayStation. The funny thing is, like, Xbox doesn't even have a lot either. They came out with fucking Forza, Gears very early on, which was like a given, which they haven't made a new Gears in God knows how long. And Halo is essentially trash for the longest time,
Oh
with the
man, oh man.
few people the exception of the few people who just cannot get away from that multiplayer as of now. But there was an instance there for 6 to 8 months where they were sitting on a single battle pass or whatever, the season, and it was stuck, and
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't even support it yet. They got all the money in the world, they could cash all the checks, but even they couldn't support a live service version of Halo. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how big of a
Mm-hmm.
problem it is to support those games.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just need the money, you need the talent. You know what I'm saying? You need the time frame, you need the cadence, there's so much to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, Omar, I gotta go, but appreciate it,
Yeah,
guys.
no, I think
Great,
we're done
great
with this
podcast today.
conversation. Shout
Yeah.
out to you for coming through. Where people can find you.
You guys can find me on Twitter, aka Shell Bandit. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Great discussion, guys. Hopefully, PlayStation has heard the message from PlayStation fans that
Mm,
we're not the happiest of campers right now, and shout
we're
out to
not.
to PlayStation fans for being honest about their feelings, and
Mm-hmm.
letting PlayStation know, and hopefully they listened and they are well aware and they're working on a solution. But yeah, happy Saturday, guys.
Right back at you.
All right, Morgan.
Bye, Morgan.
Bye.
Bye.
Um, I had one topic left, very quick. I'm curious what your guys' opinion about this. And too bad. Uh, what's his name had to leave, so that hit hard. Um,
What's his name?
The Viper.
Viper had to leave. That hit hard. Does hit hard.
Yeah.
Because I wanted him to go in. Okay, so a brutal turn of event for Embracer Group. I know most people gonna yawn, but this is important. 2 billion deal up in smoke. The stock down over 40%. Web Q&A with Embracer CEO is rough. The man seemed shattered. No indication of who the deal would have been with. And then here, former the invest from the investor of from the investor Q&A this morning, hours after the CEO lost wing force, apparently learned the deal had fallen earlier. He said it's a hard time for him to be bullish. Talk about what happens when you're doing a deal with people you trust. Pretty raw reaction here. So people that ask, so they were not gonna partner with someone we don't know but of it, but it fell through basically. That yes, they never broke it fully down, but some sort of giant development partnership, presumably them making games with a major player in the industry. And one person says maybe this was the deal with Microsoft. and because of how the CMA is doing and stuff, and how the deal is difficult with CMA, maybe Microsoft was like, let's not do that right now. Cause if Embracer Group wanna go into the industry and start, cause they already bought studios and stuff like that, and they own IPs, but they are multi-platform. But if they get bought or made deals where they can go single player only, I mean one platform only, like, let's be real, that's gonna change the game. Weep, what you thought?
Um, yeah, there's not much to say about this. We don't know exactly what the deal was. Um, yeah, things happen like that. You know, if you don't have a contract, apparently it was a verbal agreement. So yeah, there is a chance that will fall through. Um, I don't know if that really. Um, well, the only thing that I understand is that it's not just the only thing that well fell through. The only thing that's bad news for them is, of course, that there's also some delays with games, so they're taking a hit in their you know potential revenue. But other than that, I don't know if the only thing what I want from the Embracer Group is another Darksiders, really.
Oh yeah, another Darksider. I love the IP. What happened to that after that single player, what do you call it, co-op game? They've been quiet.
Yeah, that definitely. I mean, at this point, we've had technically four games in the franchise, so we need to have that
A conclusion, right?
conclusion. Yeah, where all four horsemen come together. So I
Yes,
hope that's coming out. And yeah, I think they also own the um, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver IP. So
they own it
yeah,
right now. Yeah, and they
so
put
the
out almost like
yeah,
if people want a sequel,
survey. Yeah.
yeah, survey. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I did fill that in because I do want to have a sequel. Yeah, though
Mhm.
I do wonder if that's gonna deliver because so far they don't seem to be about high budget games, but we'll see.
Gotcha. Before I continue, let me say something to Viper. One, I am on the chat, so I can see who joined. I don't hear who joined. Oh, and I have a double monitor. Yeah, now you're cheating. But with that being said, Nate, what you thought?
No, I mean, like we've said, I mean, we don't really know who the deal was with. I mean, it sucks, but uh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've got a ton of studios, ton of games in the pipeline. Hopefully, they get some shit out and it turns out great. Um, and we kind of go from there. I mean, they released Dead Island, and apparently, a lot of people love that. So
How was it? Oh, you never played it.
I didn't play it, but people that have been playing Dead Island 2 loved it. So yeah, so I mean, that much is going good for them. I don't know if it's reflecting sales wise, but yeah, I mean, clearly that deal is rough. I mean, I would never personally make a business level deal verbally. Uh,
Yeah,
that's that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I'm surprised that they made it verbally and not, sign some contract.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, I would never do that. Like, and I don't even work in the business
Especially a
sector.
2 billion deal. That's not million, that's what the B.
Yeah, I mean, that's that's ridiculous. Personally, I'm not
What
really
if
sure how
this
that happened. That's kind
what
of
if this
insane.
deal was with with PlayStation? I don't see it though.
I don't think
But
so,
nah.
what
but
if? I don't think so either, but what if?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it had to do with the whole KOTOR thing or something. I'm not sure.
Apparently Kotor, how Kotor was delayed indefinitely? Well, it just turned out that they're still in
Yes,
production.
Saber supposedly has it now,
Yeah.
but
So,
yeah. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know.
go ahead.
I mean, it sucks, but I mean, sucks to suck. I mean, he obviously shouldn't have made
Haha.
that deal. They learned a lesson, and hopefully it doesn't infect them entirely because they've got a lot of really great IPs in their hands, and
They do.
a lot of
Tomb
gamers are out
Raider.
here waiting for them to deliver. Yep.
Yeah, they have Tomb Raider. They have Perfect Dark. They own the IP. No, 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 no. They own Tomb Raider. They own Darksiders. They own quite a few IPs.
Yeah, they bought
Saints
a
Row.
yeah they bought a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Um. Too bad Mr. Viper isn't here anymore. I wanted him to go in, but I had no idea he needed to leave. If he needed to leave, I would have gave him the mic.
It happens. I'm about to. We got a little bit
I'm putting together
myself,
a
so
new entertainment center for my ADL code. They want to pound out of breath when I spoke. It's beefy. It's pretty beefy. Okay, okay. I'm gonna give you your what you call it, your play, your turn next week, because I'm genuinely curious what you have to say about the showcase and what PlayStation is doing. And with that being said, everyone give a thank you to Inez for hosting, and let's get to the outro. Weep, where we can find you.
You can find me on Twitter as the Weep Sheriff at Infinite Rhizome, and of course, Other Nation.
Gotcha. Other donation is it. A shout out to what's his name? Viper. He said, "PS holding back. They can hold these nuts." Yeah, shout out to you. We gotta keep. We gotta keep calling them. Like, I didn't read it on air, but they have what's his name? Which I'm like, that's pretty much a damage controlling. Uh, you guys saw that tweet from Robert or no?
yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, that felt like a damage control for me.
He just said it takes time or whatever.
I'm like, if that's the case, then don't announce. Stay silent. You would have been better to stay silent than to say this. Anyway, where people find you?
Yeah, just online at the real innate, and as usual, man, just keeping it gaming. We out of here.
Got, got you. I already did the stick with Weave, so I'm not gonna do it with you right now. Um, look, I had no idea that my laptop fan was hearable to such degree. So for the past few podcasts, my fan have been, hearing, hurting people a lot when it comes to audio. Um, so far, for now, I have found a way to be able to go live, and still have my laptop turned off. I'm communicating via my phone. I log in via my phone, and I'm live via my PlayStation on Discord. So thank God for the whole Discord on PlayStation, or else I would be screwed. Um, I'm looking for a new laptop. Um, when it comes, you guys gonna hear it, cause I'm gonna be the one hosting them. I appreciate you guys' patience, and yeah, um, this was a great show, and PlayStation absolutely need to be better. Cause here's the thing, just how with Microsoft they did a mock review for Redfall, I bet you money PlayStation did a mock review for this showcase, and I have no idea how people thought it was a good showcase. And I will leave it at that. PlayStation right now are out of touch with their fan base, and I'm talking about the core fan base, not
Agreed.
the casual. But yeah, people can find me at Caravan with Job on Twitter and Vitamin G Podcast every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Great show, genuinely great show. And go ahead, Innate, end it.
Yeah.
next week.
Also, Kay's not
Oh
here,
yeah, shout out to
so
Kay.
yeah,
Too
Kay's not
bad
here,
she's not
so
here.
Otter Nation, and
Yeah.
even though she couldn't make it because she was
Pollination.
asleep, Fox Mamba says that Zelda is game of the year. So, yeah,
Priscilla, yeah.
yeah.
We'll see about that.
Indeed.
Nah, it's Zelda is taking it. Like, when you're hitting 89, 87, 97, 96